Hello, everyone. Good evening. Welcome back to another session. Okay, I see a few of new faces today, and happy to see everyone back again for another session today. Just give me a second. Okay. I think we can start. Yeah. Okay. So hello, everyone. Welcome back to another session. Right. I was also waiting for a few of you to join in, so we can start. Okay. So today we have. So today we have a job guarantee discussion session. So I guess you all had doubts on the job guarantee discussion. How is like the payment plan going to work and all those things. So I'll take those doubts, right? First of all, like, is there anyone who did not attend the last time we did this discussion? Is there anyone new so that I can accordingly plan, right? And we'll do loops, right? So we have anyways, we have to understand loops. We have to do questions on loops. So that's something we started, right? So okay. Did was there anyone who was not present in the last time we did this discussion? No, everyone was present. So it'll take 15 minutes to complete this discussion. If you have any doubts on this, I will I'll try to answer them. Okay. Okay. So let me do one thing. Let me quickly share my screen. Okay. Now you all might be familiar with this portal, right? But the portal that you all will be ultimately getting is not this, right? Which has some more capabilities that I give you a walkthrough of, right? So what are the things that's going to be there in your portal? What's like your how is your portal going to look like once you enroll, right? So it's going to get upgraded and it's going to be a little bit more advanced than what you are seeing right now, right? So let me show you one quick demo of that one, right? For those of you who are new, I'll just take 10 minutes, right, to complete this discussion so that we can start with today's topic. Okay, so let me share the screen again. Okay. Okay. So this is how your portal is going to look like, right? Once you enroll and once you get access to the full portal. So you would have things like home, you would have modules. So this is like going to give you a brief idea on how your performance is, right? So basically, what are the areas in which you need to work? Basically, what your assignment score are, how your attendance has been so far, right? How your scores on the as problem solving has been, right? That we call as the gym score. How many days continuously you have solved. Let's accordingly get a job sincerity score, and you can improve on working on more assignments, attending more sessions, maintaining a good streak of solving questions, and solving more assignment questions, right? Okay. Then you have like one session where you can see all the classes that's going to be. So this is, for example, for the last month, right? So for the last month, this was the classes that started. So basically, your course is going to be divided into multiple modules. Right. So each module is around 1 month, right? So each module is going to be around 1 month, where you will be having predefined set of things that will be taught to you. So we'll inform you in the start of the month so that you can plan your month in advance. Right. So what are the topics that's going to be covered, right? What are the classes? How many classes are you going to have for that month? So all those things would be there. If there are any extra classes that's required, you can request for that. We'll arrange those classes. So that's not a problem, right? So once the class is done, let's say we completed a class. So you would see if there is any assignments for the day that you would see over here, and then the lecture of the class would be available, right? So for example, this was a theoretical class, so there is not any assignment over here. But in case there is like some class where uh, there is like problems to solve. So you will have assignments that is going to be covering over here. Right. And you again would have the access to the lectures of the recordings. So you'll get the recordings of the entire class, no matter you have attended it live or you have not attended, you'll get the recordings, and this is going to be available for you for lifetime. Okay. So this portal's access could be there for you. So you can access the recordings anytime you want, right? Okay, then there would be classes not just on the coding part. There would be classes on the theoretical aspects of programming, like object-oriented programming, operating systems, so networking, all those things we would cover. But coding is going to be one of the main aspects where we'll be working on data structures, algorithms, we'll be working on front end, we'll be working on back end, we'll be making projects together, right? So we'll be doing those things. But apart from that, we'll also organize sessions like related to your logical ability, verbal ability, communication skills, right? So all those sessions are also going to be there, right? So for example, you would have questions on logical ability, problem solving, puzzle solving, right? So that will help you think better solutions. That will help you prepare better for interview, right? Basically improve your logical abilities and improve your communication skills for the interview. So those sessions are going to help you in that way, right? So for those sessions are also going to be there, such kind of sessions from time to time, right? And on every Saturdays of the week, you would have a coding contest, right? And sometimes even a aptitude contest as well, right? So those contests would be there on Saturdays. So generally your classes are not there on Saturdays until there you require a revision sessions, or until there is some questions to solve, or something that is remaining to cover. So that's there. But sometimes it is free as well. So you have the contest. On Sundays, we do contest discussions. So if you have done well in the contest and you want to discuss the solutions to the questions that were in the contest, so you do that contest discussion so that you can get the solutions, right? If you were not able to solve them, and you can again try those questions. You will again get the recordings of the contest discussion in case you missed out for some reason you're not able to attend that in person. So you get the recording of the contest discussion sessions as well, right? So accordingly, it's going to be there. So it would be starting from something like intro to programming, where you would be having we'll be starting with hello world, variables, data types, conditionals, nested loops, functions, and gradually it will advance. We'll go to arrays, time complexities, right? 2D arrays, array lists, switch cases, graphs, trees, linked list, stack queues, and will gradually increase, right? So if you see that the difficulty of the topics is gradually increasing, right? And it is again split on over months. At the end of the month, we would have a lot of revision sessions. So for example, if you require a lot of revision sessions, so we would do that, right? So this was there. So on this batch, we did around 5 revision sessions, around 4 to 5 revision sessions, right? So we'll do that multiple revision sessions, whatever you want to cover, we'll do that to complete up, right? Next, you have like a gym section. So every day, once we discuss the things in the class, right, you can go head over to the gym and you can select the topic that we have discussed. So for example, let's say we discussed today arrays. Then you can filter out questions on arrays and you can start solving, right? So how should we start? We should always start with the easy ones, right? So you can filter out the easy ones and you can start solving. Once you feel that, okay, I'm able to solve the easy questions on the arrays, right? What's next? So if you are able to solve the easy questions on the array, you can filter out the medium ones, and then you can try to solve the medium questions on arrays, right? Once you solve the medium questions on arrays, right, and you get understanding, then you can move to the hard one. And same thing you can do for every topic, right? You can apply filters of your modules as well, which module you are on, right? Accordingly, you can select the questions that you want to solve, right? What's the status of your question, whether it's solved and solved, right? So you get a very, and these questions are not just random set of questions. These are very curated questions that are put over here, that these are asked in interviews directly, right? So if you solve, the more number of questions you solve from here, the better you have chances of clearing the interview rounds, right? So the better you are going to prepare yourself for the interview, right? In simple words. Now we have classes, we have questions, we have assignment for you to practice. But what if you get doubts, right? What if you get stuck, right? And it's not a class, so you can ask doubts in the class. That's one way. But what are the other ways to get your doubts cleared? So one is this chat support that you can use. So this is available around typically from 11 to 1 a.m. So almost you can say throughout the day, right? At night till 1 a.m. it is available. Whatever doubts you have, right? You can type it out and you can get a reply within 10 minutes, right? If the reply is not solving your doubts, if you, let's say, are solving something, you get an error, you can just put that I'm solving something, I'm seeing an error like this. So this would resolve your doubt, right? In case it is not resolved, you can get a video link, right? You can jump on a video call and you can discuss with the person. This is not a bot that is replying. This is a real person that is replying. So he's capable of understanding what is the problem, and he will be able to answer you. Okay. Still, if it doesn't get resolved, then you can head over to sessions. Okay. Sorry. Okay, since I don't have anything active right now, that should be. So, since I don't have a module active right now, I don't see the option of live doubts, but you would also get an option to live doubt, where you can basically go to attend a live doubt session directly. Okay, you can select the topic and you can select your doubt type, and you can jump over a Zoom call and you can discuss your doubts with the person. And same again, the live doubt session is again active from morning 11 a.m. to night 1 a.m. So it is like available, you can say, throughout the day for you. Okay. Now, apart from that, there are like sessions that you can attend there for which you can raise a request. For example, you want sessions to how to improve my problem solving skills. You can require a problem solving mentorship session. You can do that. I'm doing good, but I want to excel. I want to do very good, right? I don't want a package of 8 LPF. I want to go to a 15 LPF package. So how can I excel myself, right? How can I, what is the gap, right? What is the gap between me getting a 8 LPF or me getting a 15 LPF? So for that, I require some mentorship, someone who can guide me through what is the more additional effort I'm willing to put additional effort. How can I do that? You can book a Excel mentorship session, right? You can book a HR mentorship session that will help you to prepare better for interviews. I'm doing good in interviews, but what is the lagging thing? So you can book a HR and mentorship if you want to. So you have done something, you have solved problems. Now you want to test yourself, right? You want to put in a scenario before your interview that how am I going to perform? So you can raise a request for your mock interview, right? You can raise a request for your problem solving mock. So if you want that, I have solved a lot of questions, but how are these questions going to work in interviews, right? So you can raise a request for a problem solving mock interview, right? So you can raise requests for this, and accordingly your sessions will get aligned. You'll get mails for them, and you can jump on the session to test your skills, right? So that finally, when the day comes of your interview, you are prepared, right? You have done everything. You have done mock interviews. You have done problem solving. You have done everything. Think it like before your final board exams, right? You used to give a lot of mock tests, right? Before your board exams, you also used to have pre-boards, right? Why did we do that? So that you are finally prepared for that board exams, right? And you do well. Same thing. We don't prepare for interviews and we sit there. We directly go to the interviews and we get rejected, right? That is a very big problem that we mistake that we do generally, right? So we should avoid doing that mistake. We should prepare ourselves. Now you have all these tools to raise requests. You can ask for mentorship. You can ask for mock interview so that you can test yourself before going to the final. Then there would be the contest. As I told, right, on every Saturdays, you will have contest. You can jump to the contest. You will have like contest around roughly around in evening, but there is a window within which you can give the contest. So it is not a very hard and fast time, but there is a generally a window within which you can appear for the contest. So similarly, your contest would be appearing over here, and just after the next day of the contest, you would have a discussion session, right? So you can discuss all the things that you are able to solve and all the doubts that you have in the contest. We have notes that is available for every topic that's going to be taught, right? And this is like increasing, right? We are adding more and more notes. So for data structures, there is a very long list of notes on each of the topics. You would find a very lengthy list of notes there. So for arrays, for strings, for linked list, for stacks, for queues, right? So you would have a list of notes that's there for each of the topics. So after the class is done, right, you want to quickly go through notes, something which is a summarized way, not something like a very detailed book kind of thing, which is very boring to read. You can go through the notes and you can understand. There are examples of questions on the notes as well, right? So how to solve particular questions. So there are code examples as well that you can go through and you can understand how to write code on these topics better. Right, and then you can practice more, and that will help you improve. Right, there are questions on algorithms. There is notes on Gits and GitHub system design. So these are something which are used, which are asked in interviews every time. And most of the students face difficulties in topics like GitHub, system design, all of this, because these are not covered in engineering. These are not part of any syllabus of BTech or something. Okay, and these are asked, and these are very important as a software engineer, right? As a very important thing for a software engineer. Then you have access to editor, right, which you can use to test your code, write your code, right? If you have some questions to solve, you can write and test your code here. You have a calendar view where you can see how your day is going to look like, right? What are the classes that's lined up for the day, and accordingly you can plan your day. Right. You have one way where you can improve your soft skills. So I know a lot of you want to improve your communication skills, right? We get a lot of queries that I'm not good in English. What's going to happen, right? How am I going to be an interview? So what are the interview etiquettes? How can you improve your English speaking skills? We'll have sessions. We'll have your mentorship sessions. We'll have HR sessions. We'll have your communication sessions specifically to improve your communication. But what apart from that, right? Apart from that, you have a lot of resources over here that you can use to improve your interview etiquettes, to improve your cold mail writing skills, to improve your personality skills, right? To improve your what are the things that you should be doing before interview to prepare yourself, right? If you have created your resume, now you are not sure, right, why your resume is getting rejected, right? You're not sure how to apply, where to apply. You can get your resumes reviewed, right? So that will help you improve your resume. right? We have a Discord community that you can join, right? Where all of our where there would be mentors, where there will be similar students like you. So you can discuss with the mentors, you can discuss with the students, right? How they are preparing, you can learn from them, and your our mentors are always there to guide you, right? So those things are anyways there. Then there is projects. Now projects are super important, right? You would have heard a lot of people telling that projects in your resume, put projects in your resume, but we don't know how to build, what to build, right? So you want some guide, something that can that you can build, right? Some you can search on internet. There will be tons of projects, but you don't know how to start, where to start, how to learn that thing. They will be teaching you every basics in the class. Will be doing projects in the class, but still if you want to do some projects on your own, right? And students generally do a lot of projects on their own once they learn the thing, right? So once they learn front end, once they learn back end, they build websites, they build apps, right? So they build so many things out of their own. Now we have guides to every project that's there, that we want to build, right? So there are a lot of projects that we have added, and if still you want, right, to have more tutorials, we have video tutorials of the projects as well, right? And we're increasing this, right? So there is a lot of projects actually that you can use, take reference from here and write your own version of it, create a variation of that project, right? So there's a lot of projects that you can use from here to build. You want to build a library management system, you want to build a notes or a password manager, right? You want to build a contact app on Android, you want to build a quiz application, you want to bring the game, right? Like a ball break game or something. You want to do a student result management system, which will show the student results. You want to build a customer relationship manager system. This is one of the like most used software in industry, right? So all the chat support system that you use, right? So there is someone person who is sitting on the other hand to talk to you. So that is like a customer relationship manager. You want to build something on React, right? Online code editor, you can do that. There is tons of applications that's there, right, which you can take a reference on and you can build. And again, if you get stuck, right, what if I get stuck building the projects from here? These are just recorded. You again have doubt sessions, you again have mentorship sessions. You can utilize that to share your screen, and you can ask the doubt that this is the doubt I'm facing, this is the problem that I'm facing, this is the place where I'm getting stuck, how can I proceed ahead, how can I resolve this issue, how can I resolve that? So there are developers, there are engineers from Google, Microsoft, Amazon, right, who are facing these challenges, facing these issues every day, right? So they will be able to easily help you and guide you, right? And then finally, the job portal, for which I don't have access right now because I'm not eligible. Once you have done a certain set of modules, right, you become eligible for the job portal. And once you become eligible for that, your job portal gets, you would get access to the job portal, and you would see all the companies that's hiring, right? And you can apply there, right? You can apply on the companies. If you feel that, yeah, I know these skills, I've learned these things, you can apply, right? So generally this, we open this, we don't wait for the end of the course for you to complete and then we'll open it. We generally open it midway, around 5th month. You can expect that it would get opened when we feel that at least you know some DSA and you have some knowledge of front end, at least front end tak aa gaya, then you can start putting your skills into job, right? So at that point we'll make you eligible for jobs. We can pick your jobs, the ones you feel comfortable. You want to have some location preferences. There are companies hiring from all over India, so you would get the companies based on your location preferences. You have package constraints, you want higher packages, so you can just apply for the companies which are offering higher packages, right? You want a job in particularly front end or particularly back end, or you want a full stack job, so you can accordingly pick your jobs, the one you want. You want a remote job, so there are a lot of companies who are offering a fully remote job. So you can pick your jobs as per your requirement, as per your criteria, whatever you feel, and you can apply on them, right? And there are a lot of companies, so and whatever gaps. So for example, you are applying on jobs but your resume is not getting picked, so you can book a resume review session, right? We have that, and you can get validated what's problem, what's missing in your resume, why your resume is not getting selected, and we can improve your resume, and the next time you can apply, you will get selected, right? So that's how it's going to work, right? Okay. Now this is there on the portal, and there are like tons of other things that's there. We have a community where you can use things. Now I see the live doubt. I don't know why it was not visible that time, but I see the live doubt now. So this is the live doubt session, right? So this is like the most used thing in the portal, right? I would say, because generally see everything else you have to use, but this is the place where you can interact with the other person. So I would come, I would teach in the evening, and you would I will try my best to explain you all the concepts you have. Right, all the doubts that you put, I'll try to take them up, we'll solve them, right, in the class. But you would get doubts, right? I would not say ki after I'm done teaching, you will not get doubts. You will definitely get doubts. That's the part of learning, right? That's going to happen. So what we have done to solve that issue, right? So we have like, you can book a doubt system. So let's say you are working on strings and getting doubts on string. So you can book a doubt session. Let's say you have a concept related doubts. So I explained you something, you watch the recording again, but you're still not able to understand that concept. So you can book a concept related doubt session. Or if you have so you were solving some question and you're not able to solve it, right? You're getting some doubt, you're stuck in that question and you want the solution of that question. So you can pick a question related doubt. Now there are slots. Generally, it is available. If you look, it is available throughout the day. Only time it is not available is 8 to 11, because that is the time we'll have our class, right? So that time you don't have any doubt session, because we want you to attend the live session, right? If you have doubt that point of time, you can put to me, right? I am there to take up your doubts. We'll solve that. Okay. But apart from the class hours, if you get doubt, now whatever is your working hours, whatever is your learning time, whatever is your self-study time, at whatever time you feel comfortable, right? You can pick your doubt sessions slots accordingly. You are a morning person, you want to pick your doubt slots 11 to 1, go for it. You are available in the afternoon to the evening, go for it. If you're a college student, you generally have time available around 5 to 8, pick that slot. If you have doubts after the class, right? I cleared everything in the class, but still on some problem, there were some doubts that remaining. You can still jump to the live doubt session. You can ask the doubts related to the questions. You have doubts on the gym section, you have doubts related to anything. Okay. Okay. For now, your portal will not look like this. It would be looking like this. Okay, I cannot share a link for this portal, because this is something which your portal will get upgraded once you enroll into it. Okay, so once you enrolled, your portal would start looking something like this. Right now, it's just a few sessions, which would give you idea, right? Which is to give you idea how your day is going to work like. You don't have all the access, but yeah, once you enroll, you'll get the access. Now, there were a lot of doubts on the enrollment part. So let me just take 10 minutes to clarify it. Okay. So basically, so you have a job guarantee. So we offer you a job guarantee, right? So what is this job guarantee and how does it work? So see, so basically, we don't ask you to pay anything upfront if you're not willing to, right? So you don't have to pay anything upfront. You have once you enroll, right? So there is a job guarantee that becomes valid. Now there are some conditions, like you have to at least continue for 10 months, right? You have to continue for 10 months on the course, right? And there are you have to at least attend 10 modules. The course can be extended to 14 months, right? So if you feel like I want to learn slowly, I don't want some students learn in 6 months. Okay, that's fine. Some students take time. Some students learn in 8 months. That's fine. Some students take 10 months to learn. That's also fine. Okay, we are nowhere forcing you to learn everything in 4 months, learn everything in 5 months. Take your time. If you want to learn slowly, you can learn slowly. For example, let's say we did a module on front end, okay, and you felt like, okay, I understood front end, but I have a lot of still doubts, right? For some reason, I had a family function, I had a medical emergency, I missed 5-6 sessions in the classes, right? I was not available for a week, I were not able to attend live classes. That happens. A lot of you are working professionals as well. You got some surge in your project that you're working on, and you were not able to contribute 3-4 hours a day. That also happens, right? I have seen this happening with students. You are a college student, right? You got your semester exams and you are not able to contribute for 10-15 days on the course. That's also fine. Okay, you can just just repeat that thing again in the next month. Okay, so you can just learn the same thing again in the next month for you, right? There is nothing that you have to do. Just you inform your batch manager that, you know what, I for some reason I did not feel I missed out a lot of classes on this month, and I don't feel confident on the topics that's covered in this month. I want to repeat all the concepts for this month. I want to learn it again. You can do it. See, there is no rush in learning things, right? The more you spend time, the better you'll become out of it. The students who repeat months, they generally come out learning the concepts in much more depth, because they've spent 2 months learning the same thing as compared to someone who has spent 1 month. So that's also fine. Okay. Now, how does the job guarantee work? You basically have to enroll. Once you enroll, you don't have to pay anything. There is a small enrollment fee that you have to pay, and that also you can pay in installments. I guess the enrollment fee is around 15,000. You'll get confirmation on that, and that also you don't need to pay upfront. That is around paid in installments, and that would get finally deducted from whatever finally pay after placement. Whatever finally once you get placed, right? Whatever plan you would get, right? Whatever, let's say the payment is based on the okay, let me just walk you through on the site itself, right? There is a thing detail of this course detail. Yes. So once you get placed, right? So you would have a CTC, right? You would have a package on which you have got placed. There is details of what are the things that's going to be covered in the course. So on the front end part, what's there, right? So will cover entire JavaScript, will cover entire front end, will cover everything related to DOM manipulation, HTML, CSS, React, all the modern thing that's used in industry. On backend, we have Node. We also teach you Java, so we'll also be covering Spring Boot as well. So if you want we don't ask you to choose that now. Once you are confident on your skills, once you understand programming, then you can discuss with your mentor, then you can discuss with the instructor, then you can discuss with the batch manager, and accordingly think what you want to do. You want to do front end, you want to do back end, you want to do both, you want to only understand back end, you only want to do front end. Accordingly, you can think, right? After you learn programming, then you'll get that clarity, what I want to do. Okay. Basically, this is who are eligible. So broadly, all the students are eligible, right? There is no percentage requirement as well. There are a lot of hiring partners as well. So we have a lot of hiring partners, even the big companies that you would think of like Airtel, Amazon, McMyTech, Mesa, they hire through AccioJob. So there are a lot of students who have done this. So you can validate that on LinkedIn. There are a lot of students who are working on these companies, and there is a lot of testimonials of these students that's present on the site. You can go through there and you can go through their success stories as well. So you can learn from those students. And trust me, a lot of these students are not even from engineering as well. So that's like the most interesting part. There are a lot of students who are not even from engineering. Okay. Then we have like, yeah. So this is the part, right? So if you don't get a job, you don't have to pay any fees. That's it, right? If you opt for an upfront payment, right? So if you opt for an upfront payment, there is the fees is generally smaller, and you get a money back guarantee, right? So if you don't get a job after completing the course, right, within 4 months of completing the training, you would get a money back. You will get your entire money back completely. Okay? That is our money back guarantee, right? So even if you pay upfront, so you'll get the complete money back if you don't get the job, right? And if you get a job, you offer a pay after placement. If you don't want to pay now, that's completely fine, right? You can offer a pay after placement where once you get the job, once the salary starts hitting your account, then only you need to pay. There are a lot of instructors like me who are going to be part of your journey. There are instructors from Amazon, there are instructors from Google, there are instructors from Microsoft, right? Myntra, right? So we have all the top instructors that's there. So we have collectively taught more than, I would say, I have personally interacted with more than 5,000 students. So collectively, we have taught more than 15,000 plus, I guess, students till now. Yeah, if I'm not wrong, it would be even more than that, right? It would be even a lot more than that. So all the instructors have taught a lot of students. We have been part of these journey of students. So we completely understand your doubts. We completely understand your problems that you would be facing. So we'll try to help you in every stage that's there. Okay. Now your like how this thing looks like. So that depends on that amount that you get placed. So let's say you get a package of around 10 LPA. So this is going to be a final amount that you have to pay, right? And that is that you don't have to pay at once. That is deducted as EMIs from your salaries per month, right? Up to a certain month, right? That you can opt for, right? If you want to pay after the job upfront as well, that also you can choose. So there are options that you can discuss with your sales manager or your batch manager as well at the time of your payment plan. Okay. And then finally, if you get a job of above 18 LPA, which I would want all of you should get, right? Which you all are wishing for, right? I also want you all will be getting. We have a lot of companies. We'll try to prepare ourselves in such a way we all land up for 18 plus LP right now. And once you get that 18 LP job, the fees is going to look super minimal as compared to what you're getting, right? Think of like your BTech fees, think of like the college fees that colleges have been charging to us and providing, I guess, not even 10% of what you're going to get over here. Like, I'll be honest, right? I'll be honest. I've seen this in the journey of a lot of students, right? So students learn a lot more with us as compared to the colleges, right? Colleges play a very pivotal role. I'll not deny that. But learning wise, these are going to be your 6 months are going to be super critical. You'll enjoy this. Once you start loving this, you'll enjoy the journey and you'll enjoy the journey of learning with us, right? Once you get all the support. So all our founders are from IITs, right? So they understand, they themselves have done their engineering, so they understand how the jobs in engineering work, what are the challenges the students face, right? How to improve them, how to solve, not only just by organizing classes, by also providing you a better portal to work on, right? Providing you a better tech, right? Providing you a better mentorship. So all the things are already there, right? That's coming. So these are the journey of the students. I have personally taught Lalit, right? So I'm very much happy that he was able to jump from 3.6 to 15 LPO within 5 months. Within 5 months he got this offer, right? So, and this is not just one student. Okay, if I start putting the list, and this is very lengthy list. Okay, you can go to the read on the success stories of the students, and there are a lot more. Right, we literally would get tired putting these stories because there are so many. Okay, so you can read through them. You can understand there, and trust me, there are no like very few students I have met who are from engineering as well. Okay, so that's also one very big advantage, right? If you're not from engineering, that's also fine, right? Yeah, so this is it, and there are like 300 plus companies that there, right? So whatever tech, whatever domain you want, you would probably get aligned, right? You want remote jobs, so there is like these are the testimonials of the students, right? I've taught Abhinav as well, right? So I got a special mention in this course, so that was I love, right? So the best thing I love is like when I teach students and they thank for that part is like my salary, right? That's where I'm happy, right? So now how your thing starts. So we have an intro to programming that we will doing for 3 to 4 months. We'll doing rigorous coding, right? We'll start slowly, but we'll pick up pace and we'll do lot of coding, and we'll do it for 3 months, 2 months, 3 months, right? And once you get used to coding, once you start understanding data success algorithm, once you start understanding Java, once you start understanding programming, once you start writing code, once you get used to it, then you can pick up any one of the two choices, right? So, and you can discuss this. There is no hurry to pick these choices. You can come and discuss with me. You can book a mentorship slot. That I'm good in data success algorithms. What should I pick? Should I go for a merge stack, front end and back end? Should I go for a Java backend, right? So both of these things, if you look for any job description, go search out any career site. If you go and look for the job description, it would be asking you only two things. Either it would be asking you a merge stack like React, Node, Express, MongoDB, something like that, or it would be asking you Java, right? Java or Java backend or Spring Boot or something like a Spring, right? So both the tracks we have covered, right? Now you can pick any one of them. Student gets confused which one to choose. If you choose whichever one you choose, there is a lot of jobs in both of them. Okay, so there is nothing like that. You will anyways be learning Java. You can learn JavaScript as well, right? So that is also one thing. If you want to learn JavaScript, you want to build React, Node, so that's something you can do. And then there are electives as well. So for example, you want to do a lot of like front ends, so you can pick elective front ends as well. You want to understand front end, back end, that's also you can do. And if you want to offer very advanced DSL, you want to go into things like dynamic programming, graphs in much more detail, you want to solve a lot of questions on them, right? On advanced DSA. So you can pick up a elective DSA as well. So that also you can do. Okay, so that's also there. So accordingly, whatever choices you make, you will get your module, and same thing, right? At the month start, you'll get a module, you'll learn it for a month. You feel comfortable. I learned it. I have improved. You pick another module in the next month. You move to the next module. Okay, you'll have support. You'll have choices to make, and the first 3 months, once you start learning programming, you'll get automatically yourself get idea what to choose, what will suit you, right? And yes, if you want to have depth learning on something, you can repeat it. You want to have like learn something in much more advanced module, you can pick up a elective advanced module on that topic, right? Okay, you get one-to-one guidance. You have, so generally our classes is from 8 to 11. It sometimes goes around 3.5 hours, but generally it's stick to at least 3 hours, right? And on this duration, right? You can book HR interviews, you can book technical interviews, right? You can book all of them. You have all the resources for on projects, on resume building, on your mock skills, soft skills. So everything is there, right? And you have lifetime access of all the lecture recordings, notes, everything that you get. You have coding questions on the gyms, and these are curated questions. These are not just randomly put questions, very curated and asked in interviews. If you look through interviews, these are the questions that are going to be directly asked in interviews as well. Okay. And there's again about the mentors who is there. And then there is some eligibility. I guess most of you meet the eligibilities. You can still just go through them once. Okay, that is it, right? So this is about the your payment plan. This is about the job guarantee that we provide, and this is about the basically your money back guarantee, right? So if you don't get a job and you have paid upfront, you'll get the complete money back after your completion of the course, right? And if you choose for a pay after placement model, you just have to pay a small token that also you can split over months. You don't have to pay anything a huge chunk on upfront. You can continue learning for 10 months, 8 months, 6 months. And once your portal, once you become eligible after, and you generally would become eligible after 5 months or 6 months, you can start applying for the jobs. We'll guide you through, we'll help you through, right? I know, see, see, I'll be honest over here. Job searching is a very rigorous process, very time-taking process, right? As an yogi, I learned something. If today I start applying for job now, I have 2 years of full-time experience working with Microsoft. I'll have to apply for 50 jobs. And from those 50 jobs, I'll get around, let's say, the 5 to 10 reverts, right? From those 5 to 10 reverts, let's say 2-3 call schedules will happen. Out of those 2-3-4 call schedules that I got, I would get selected in 1 or 2 jobs, right? So that's how the job searching process works, right? That is how it is. We have tried to optimize it, right? Because the companies that are hiring through us, they know that all the students that have gone through, which are applying to us, have learned the things that we want, right? So we don't have to provide any additional training to them at our job. They know things like data structure algorithms. They have done project building. They know front end. They know back end. So they are very much confident on our students, right? And that is like the most best thing that you would want. The company is confident on you before your interviews as well. They know that the students have gone through it. There is like a test that they have regularly appeared. There are contests that they have solved. There is mentorship that they have taken. There are assignments. There are like tons of things that they have gone through in the last 6-7 months for preparing for this job. So they know things already. So that's the best thing, right? Going to an interview, if the interviewer thinks that you are prepared, you know things, what's the thing that you want, right? Most of the time interviewers come with this mindset that the student doesn't know things, right? How much effort do we need to put to make the student learn things? If they feel that, okay, it will take a lot of amount of effort to make student learn things, let's hire someone who knows a little bit of things, right? So that's where most of the rejection happens, right? 99% of the candidate gets rejected because of that. Because the interviewer feels that it is going to take a lot of effort to put skills into this candidate. But here it is completely different, because the companies know that the students have gone through this, and they know things, they understand things, and they have worked on projects, a lot of rigorous projects. How can you submit assignments? Okay, so once you solve the questions, you have the options to submit, right? So for example, like here, so that's there in your pre-course as well, right? So if you go to any question, right? So if you open any question, so there are assignments that's there. For example, this is the assignment that we have completed. So there is a coding portal. If it's a coding related assignment, there would be a coding portal that would open up, right? Now you can just solve your questions. Once you have solved, you can test it, run your code, you can check whether it is giving the correct result or not, and then finally you can submit. That's how you can submit any questions, any assignments. Okay. There would be logical ability questions. There would be questions from OOPS, operating systems, so all the things that's required, that system design. So those things are also going to be there, but most of the questions are programming related, which would look like this. But the other questions would have a similar interface. If it is a quiz kind of thing, you'll have options to choose from, right? Like MCQ options to choose from. So all those different kind of exams would be there. But again, all of them can be done from the portal itself. So your portal is very much capable of handling anything and everything that is required. Okay. Yes, it's so you don't have to pay anything upfront. It's like you have to pay once you get placed, right? So we call it as a pay after placement model. So it's completely after your placement. Once you get placed into a company, then the fees would get deducted from for a fixed set of months from your salary, right? Once your salary starts sitting into your account, right? We don't take anything upfront. There is a small token fee that again you can pay in over a duration of months, right? That's like just like a registration fee. Okay. Okay, understood. Any more doubts on job guarantee or your money back, or what is like the portal going to look like, or the things? I guess you already have a discussion with our alumni. You had an alumni session where you got to connect with the students that have gone through this, right? That have learned with us. If you have any doubts, right, you can ask this just over the portal, right? You would get a contact of you would have a contact of some relationship manager with you, right? No, it is going to be live sessions. There are recorded sessions as well, but there are live sessions as well, right? So we generally would try to so all the sessions are live. We generally advise you to attend the live sessions as much as possible, but we try to provide you recorded. So the live class recordings will also be available, but there are some recorded sessions as well that you get access as well, right? The recorded videos you get access, but we would advise you to attend as much live as possible. See, most learning would happen in live, right? If you have any doubts, you stop me right away, right? Sir, I don't understand this. Okay, we can learn together. How much I have to pay after placement? That again depends on your package that you have got, right? So there is like different packages. Let me just do this. Okay. Yep. So that's part is here. So, okay. Now, let's say your package is around 5 to 10 LPA, right? If your package is around 5 to 10 LPA, then your per month payment comes out to be 11,800 for 15 months, right? Which translates to 1,77,000. If your package is from above 10 to 18 lakhs, right? From 10 to 18 lakhs, then your per month plan calculates to 15,000 something, which for 15 months, which roughly translates to 2,36,000. And if your package is above 18 lakhs, which all of us want, right? So if it's beyond 18 lakhs, you can get a 25 lakhs, 30 lakhs, 40 lakhs, whatever package you get. From that, your translation would come out to be around 2,95,000 for the entire course. Okay. No need to pay anything before the placement. There is a small charge for registration that you have to pay. That also you don't have to pay in one go. You can split it over months, right? So there is a EMI option on that as well. You can split it over months, which would come out to be around 1,000 to 1,500 per month to split it. But I guess there is 15,000. That's the amount that you have to pay for the registration. If you want to split that into months into EMIs, that also you have the option to do it. Okay. You don't know coding, how to do it. If you so how many of you take students in the chat, right? Those who were with me on the day one, tell me, did you feel in the last 5 to 6 sessions, did you all learn something about coding? Acha, we want to help Akash understand. So tell me, where few of you were able to learn coding who have not done any coding before in the last 6 days? Do you feel that you were able to code something? Thoda sa सीखा हमने, data types, variables, if conditional loops. Yes, no one. So we have a lot of students, Akash, you are not alone, right? We have a lot of students who don't know coding, who have started coding along with us, right? So if you look at this, there are the chart that I have shown you over here. I guess there was some chart that was showing you the percentage of students that's there, right? And most of the students have not even from the BTech background, not even from like engineering, right? They are from pharmacy, they are from arts, they are from commerce, right? And they have done this thing with us, and they have completed now they are working as software engineers, right? So there are tons of such students. You're not alone, right? So we'll try to learn, we'll try to learn from very scratch. It's not like something that's we cannot learn. Programming is not something that we cannot learn. We can learn programming. It's super easy, just that we require to spend some time, we require to spend some months, right, to learn it. Okay. So you have a lot of students who have not even done engineering. I'm not talking about computer science or anything. We've not even done engineering, arts, commerce, something. 4 months, you would get eligible around 4 to 5 months, right? So that is the time when you would get eligible for jobs. That will open that job portal for you, the portal that I was showing you, right? So basically the job portal you will get access to this one around 4 to 5 months, right? And then once you start applying, right? So see, I will not give you false of key. The first day you apply, you'll get the job. No, it will take some time. You'll go to interviews. You might get rejected in some interviews. You'll appear for it again. Now you can keep on sitting on interviews, right? Some students get it within a week. Some take 2 weeks. Some takes a month. But you would get that within 6-7 months, right? Within 5 to 6 months, you will get that job. Okay. You keep on applying. Once you have the skills, right? Then what's stopping you? See, the best thing that is, in software engineering, you get paid for your skills, right? This is the only profession that pays you in crores just for your skills, right? Because no one else can come and code, right? No one else, if I hire someone and I say, you start coding, he cannot do. If he doesn't know coding, he will not be able to code, right? I can replace a manager by another manager. I can replace a sales guy with another person, hire someone and teach him sales, that you have to tell this script in the call and you can, you have to sell this product. He can learn sales. You can learn the role of a manager. You can learn things, right? In any job, you can learn things, right? But you cannot learn programming in the job. You have to learn and then you will be hired for the job, right? That's the best part. So your skills, once you get that skills, right? So you are going to be in the safest place. Think of any profession, किसी भी profession के बारे में सोचो, being a software engineer, right? So see, think of like a doctor, right? So only a doctor knows how to operate on a patient, right? No one can take place of that doctor, right, and operate on a patient. Similarly, only you know how to code. No one can take place of you until he knows to code, right? And if someone knows to code, right, every company wants to hire engineers. Every company wants better developers. Every company wants people who can build projects, right? Write good code. I would say your time commitment should be around like 4 to 5 hours at least, Okay, so 3 hours would go in the classes, then 2 hours of your assignment solving, right? And on the top of that, if you get doubts and something, you have light out sessions and something that you can attend. So you would at least commit 5 hours, at least. That's telling. If you are able to commit 8 hours, 9 hours, 7 hours, that's good. But at least you should try for 5 hours. See, I know initially it would look like 3 hour sessions, 5 hours is too much. Once you get used to it, you will feel 5 hours is so less, right? And trust me, you're going to enjoy it so much that you're never going to feel it's boring. Chalo. Okay, I don't see any more doubts. Okay, first of all, let's quickly get an update on the assignments. How many assignment questions did you all solve? How many doubts remaining? How many questions do you have doubts still remaining? Did you solve the assignments yesterday for those students who were attending the class with me yesterday? Did you solve assignment on loops? Did you all solve other assignments? Is there anything remaining to discuss? All topics that we'll teach. So that's there, right? So the list is there in the site. So on the course details, you'll find out the data structures algorithms part, what's going to be there from the very basic, starting from variables, loops. We'll go to advanced concepts like heaps, parity queue, trees, graphs, everything, dynamic programming, everything is there. Right. Then we would do front-end development. What are the topics that's there in front end? And then we would learn back-end development. What are the topics that's there in back-end? Okay. Second largest integer, that's tau. Okay, that I expected. Okay. What else? Okay. Array rotation. Okay. Or only Deepak is having doubt. What about others? Did you all not solve the question? You all not try loops? Initial payment plan. Okay. So initial payment plan looks something like this, right? Where you can opt for a complete upfront payment, right? Which is around 98,000 something. And you can again choose a EMI option. You don't have to pay it upfront. If you want to opt as an EMI, you can choose it as an EMI option. Now, right, if you don't get the job, what's going to happen, right? Is it like how it's going to work? If you don't get the job, if anything goes wrong, that will never happen. Okay, so you will get a full money back. Okay, so you have a money back guarantee that becomes eligible after 4 months, within 4 months of completing the training. Now, what's the 4 month of? So your training is around 10 months, right? And I guess it can be extended to 14 months. So within 14 to 15 months, if you don't get the job, you'll get the money back. Okay, so there is a money back guarantee on the payment if you make upfront. If you don't get the job, you get the money back. No questions asked. Okay. So basically, you can summarize it like if you don't get the job, you don't have to pay anything. Simple, as simply as I can put it. Okay. And if you're opting for a pay after placement, you just have to pay a small registration fees, and that's it. You can start learning. You get access to the portal. You don't have to pay before placement if you don't want to, right? You can choose for a pay after placement model where you have to pay it after your placement is done, right? After your placement is done, once your salary starts hitting your account, then only you need to pay. Okay, so that's why we have the pay after placement model, right? So you have to pay once your placement is done, and then only you need to pay, right? You don't need to pay before the placement. Okay. Okay, so let's start, right? So let me start by recapping loops, and then we can when we add sentence in between the sentence. I don't get your question, Deepak. So let's start. Okay, how many of you were with me yesterday on the session when we started learning loops? Oh, sorry. No, only Deepak was with me. No one else. Okay, so we'll start with loops. Okay, for those of you who are attending this as the first session, please do watch the recording. See, we have covered a lot of things in the last session, right? Where to find the recordings, you can just go to this free course, and on each of these, you have the recording available. Right? If you just open this, you would see a concept video that's like a summary of whatever we have covered in this, and which is like around 30 minutes, which is like a summary, right? It's the recording. And and then we have the live session, which where we covered the same thing in 1.5 hours, 2 hours, whatever the session duration was, 3 hours, right? So where we covered the same thing in a lot more detail, taking your doubts in between, right? So that's something which I would recommend you to watch. You can go and watch the recordings. That will help you, right? See, I can go through it, but it would neither help me nor help you, right? So please watch the recordings. That will help you understand easily. So that will give you some idea, and you can prepare for your mock interviews, and you can prepare for you can prepare for your enrollment interviews and the coding test that you are going to have before your enrollment. Okay, sounds fair? So if it is, then let's start with okay. So yesterday we started with something known as loops, right? So what is loops? Loops are used for running a program. Okay, I got this. So loops are used for running a piece of code repeatedly, right? So it is used for running a piece of code again and again, right? Now, how does loop works, right? So it runs a piece of code again and again repeatedly. Okay. Now it runs a code in this cycle known as ICBU cycle. It basically runs a code in the cycle known as initialization, condition, body of the loop, and updation, right? So we run this code in a piece of cycle known as initialization, condition, body, updation. Each cycle is known as an iteration, whereas basically we are running a loop once. Okay. Now this is like how the cycles look like. So we have initialization, then we check the condition, we go to run the body, and then we do the updation. We do initialization, we check the condition, we run the body of the loop, and then we do updation. And this is something which we keep on doing, and we keep on running the loop. Okay. So for example, this one. So as an example of what we are doing over here is we did some initialization I equals to 1, right? We check the condition is 1 less than 15. Yes, 1 is less than 15. Then we go to the body and we run the loop. We run the loop, we print hello world. Okay. Now once we print hello world, now we go to the updation, right? We increase the value of I, we check the condition, we come again, right? So this is how it's works, right? So let me just recall this, right? In case you forgot it. Okay. So let's see. So how does this loop runs? So this loop runs in this way. So we have I is equals to 1, right? Now what we do is we check the condition is 1 less than 15. Yes, 1 is less than 15. So we go and run the body, which is hello world 1. We print it. That's what we are seeing in the result. Now, after we are done with this, we increase the value of I to 2. We increase the value of I by 1, it becomes 2. Okay. Now, once we increased it value, we again go to the condition. So how do we run? Initialization, condition, body, updation. After we are done the updation, then we again go to check the condition. Now this time is the condition 2. Yes, it is 2 again. So we again go to the body of the loop. We print hello world, but this time we hit the value 2 because I value has changed. So this time when we are printing I, its value is 2. Next time when we'll print I, its value is going to be 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, and so on. Until when we'll keep on running until this condition becomes false. When will the condition becomes false? Till 15, it is going to be true, right? Till the value of I becomes 15, like 3, 4, 5, 6, on. Up till 15, it is going to be true. And then when it becomes 16, it is going to become false, right? So when it becomes 16, this condition is going to become false. We are not going to run this, and we are going to come out of the loop. Okay. If you have anything after the loop, code is going to run there, or the code is going to stop then and there. Okay. So that is how basically any loop runs, where we have like some transaction initialization, condition, body, updation, and it keeps on running it in that way. Now using this, we did a lot of things, like we printed numbers from 1 to 20. We printed all the even numbers. Now, how did we print even numbers? This time we started by 2, and we kept on increasing the number by 2, right? So we went from 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 8, and so on. So we kept on increasing the number by 2. So we printed all the odd numbers, right? So we started by 1 and we kept on increasing by 2. So we printed all the odd numbers, right? We printed all the even numbers from 1 to 20, right? We printed all the even numbers from 1 to 20. Okay. We printed all the they printed all the even numbers from 1 to 20, right? We started from 120 by checking using the if condition, right? Earlier we just increased it. यहाँ पे क्या करा था हमने? Increase करा था, right? We increased it by 2 and we went from 2 to 4 to 6 to 8 and so on. This time what we are doing? We are printing all the even numbers by checking whether the number is even or whether the number is odd. right? We are checking the numbers and then we are printing it, right? Same way we are checking for odd numbers. How do we check for odd numbers? So how did we check for even number? If it is divisible by 2, it is even. If it is not divisible by 2, it is odd. You can print it, right? We found out sum of all the numbers from 1 to n, right? This was a question there in the portal as well. Find out the sum of all the numbers from 1 to n. We did that as well. That's finding out the sum of all numbers from 1 to n. Okay. We found out the product of all the numbers. Now here there was one question. Why did we take 0 in the case of sum? Why did we take 1 in the case of product? Or how will we know what is the value that we have to take? So we took 0 in the case of sum because we did not want this value to determine the final sum. Right? We did not want this value to have any result on the final sum. The final sum should be independent of the value that we are taking over here. Okay? The final sum should not be dependent on the value that we have put in initially in the sum. It should be independent of that. Same goes for the product. The final product should not be dependent on the value that we are putting in this product. So that's why we took 1 over here, right? If you take 0 over here, the final product is going to be 0, right? So that's going to impact the final result, right? So that's why I put it as 1, which is not impacting the final result of the final result of what we have put. Okay. 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 Now, so on this product of all the numbers from 1 to n is also known as factorial of the number, right? So product ko kya bolte hain? Factorial bolte hain. So this is a way to find out the factorial. There is a question to find out the factorial of a number, right? The next important thing we learned about was around factors, right? So factors are super important thing, right? Factors are super important thing. Factors help you to do a lot of things. So we firstly find out all the factors of a number. Now, what is a factor? So any number that divides a number is known as factor of a number. So for example, what are the factors of 10? So 10 के factors होंगे 1, 2, 5 and 10. Because these are the numbers that divide 10. What are the factors of 24? So 24 has a lot of factors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, 24. So these are the factors of 24. Okay. So we found out the factors. So how can we find out the factors? So basically, what is the smallest factor of a number? 1. What is the largest factor of the number? The number itself. So if I want to find out a factor of any number n, what I need to do is I want to check every number from 1 to n, whether that divides the number. If that divides the number, that means it is a factor. If that does not divide the number, that means it is not a factor. So that's what we have done over here, right? We check for every number from 1 to n, whether that divides the number. If yes, that is a factor. If it doesn't divide, then it is not a factor. Simple. Okay. Okay. Next, we did operations on these factors. Let's say we found out the factor. Now we want to count the factors. We counted we counted the factors of the number. Okay. So we did a count on the factors. How can we count? We check whether this is divisible by I. If yes, then let's count these factors. Okay. By increasing by 1, and then we printed, okay, this is the final count of factors. So how did we count? We took an initial count as 0. And then we started by every time we find a factor, we started increasing this value by 1. जब भी एक factor मिलता था उसकी value को 1 से increase करते थे. And at the end we got this. This is the final count of factors. Okay. Now if we now there was one interesting thing regarding this count, that if the count is exactly 2, not less, not greater than, not equal to. If it is exactly equal to 2, that means the number is prime. If the count is exactly equals to 2, that means the number has 2 factors, 1 in itself, right? So what is the prime number? A number having only 2 factors, that is 1 in itself. If the count is exactly equal to 2, that means the number is prime. That's what we checked over here, right? So that's what we checked for prime number. Let me run this code and show that to you. So what we did over here, so it put any number, let's say 10. So 10 has a lot of factors. 10 has 4 factors. The count is coming out to be 4. So the 10 is not prime number, right? But if I put any prime number instead of 10, right? If I put any prime number, let's say 17. So we get 2 factors, 1 and 17 itself, and the count is coming out to be 2. So it is telling it is a prime number, right? Okay. Then we have SCA for GCD, right? Which is like the highest common factor, the greatest common divisor. So what is the highest common factor? Okay. So this is about prime. Achha, any doubts so far on loops, on factors, or anything that I discussed, that I recapped? that you went through again and you have doubts? Anything? Any doubts? No doubts? How it can print prime? Uh, Basically how it can print prime. So it is we are doing it, checking it outside, right? How can we are checking then the count of factors, right? So what we did, we checked the count of factors, right? So this is what we are checking the count, right? What we are doing over here is we are counting the factors and then we are checking, right? We are this is displaying the count, right? And then we are checking whether it is whether the count is 2. If it is 2, then I am printing prime. Let me remove everything else so that it can make you clear. Let me run this. Let's give an input like 17. It is telling prime. Now, why? How is this coming, right? How is this telling this number is prime? So see, what we are doing is we are running a loop from 1 to n. Why 1 to n? Why not 1 to 100, 1 to 1000? Because we want to run from the smallest factor to the largest factor. What is the smallest factor of any number? 1. What is the largest factor of any number? That number itself. So 1 is the smallest factor, n is the largest factor. So 1 to n, we have that interval, right? 1 to n is the 1 is the smallest factor, n is the largest factor. Now we want to check whether n is divisible by this number or not, n is divisible by this I or not. Now, if n is divisible by this I, we want to count that number. We want to count that factor. Right. So if n is divisible by that any I from that range 1 to n, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever number, right? Let's say n is 24. So 24 is divisible by 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, right? It is not divisible by 5. Whichever number divides it, we are increasing our count. Now, finally, if we still get the count is 2, that means there were only 2 numbers that divided this number. That was 1 itself. Between 1 itself, there was 1 and the number. There was no other number that divided this. So I print this as prime. But if there are other numbers who divided it, then we print it as not prime. If the count is not equal to 2. Okay, got it now? Okay. Now we understood about SCF or GCD. What is SCF or what is GCD? So SCF is the highest common factor, basically the largest common factor between two numbers. So let's say we have two numbers, 10 and 15. What is the highest common factor? So all the factors of 10 are, so 10 has factors 1, 2, 5, 10. What are the factors of 15? So 15 has factors 1, 3, 5, 15. Okay. So these are the factors of 10. These are the factors of 15. Okay. So now, okay. So now what we are checking is we started with 1, we went to like B and we increased this I by 1. Every iteration we are increasing the I by 1. Now what we are checking is A divisible by I? Is B divisible by I? If yes, if I is dividing both A and B, then this is our highest count. Then this can be our possible SCF. So we started with 1, we'll check 1 dividing both, so 1 is our SCF. So is 2 dividing? No. Is 3 dividing both? No. Is 4 dividing both? No. Is 5 dividing both? Yes, 5 is dividing both. So that is our new SCF. That's why we change our SCF. See, here we are changing our SCF in the same variable, in the same box, right? SCF is the box, right? Variable, where we are putting the value. So what we are doing is in the SCF box, we are putting different values. We started with 1, then we thought, oh, 5 is the SCF. So 5 we put. Then we checked for 6, 7, 8, 9, then we checked for all the numbers. No one divided both the numbers. So the highest common factor was 5. That will get into that. Okay. So if there was any other larger number that divided 5, we'll get that as SCF. But this case, 5 was the largest number that divided both of them. So we printed 5. Okay. Understood? Clear. Okay. Now you also get questions on LCM. Now LCM is super easy. Once you find out the SCF, the LCM, there is a straightforward formula of finding out the LCM. You just multiply two numbers divided by the SCF. That is the LCM of that number. That's it. Okay. Multiplication of two number dividing by the SCF. That is the LCM of any number. Okay. So this is what we have learned about loops. Yesterday we used loops for solving real problems, like finding out whether a number is prime, finding out the factorial, finding out the sum of numbers from 1 to n, printing even numbers, printing odd numbers. We use loops to do these things, right? What else? What are the other things that loops are used for, or what are the places where we can use loops? So the other places where we can use loops are, okay. So let's solve questions using loops, right? Let's try to solve more questions using loops. So see, okay. So, huh. So let's do one interesting thing, prime factorization. Okay, we can do that. So I'll start with something different. I'll do that as well. Okay. So see, let's say you have a number. Okay. Let's say 125. And I ask a simple question. Okay. Print the last digit of this number. How can you get the last digit of any number? Think. Very easy question. How can you get the last digit of a number? Try to think of what mathematical operation will give you the last digit. Percentage what? With what we'll divide it. How can I get the last digit of this number? Huh. So if you divide this number by 10, the remainder is going to be your last digit, right? See. So if I do this operation, let's say if I do a percentage 10, and we understood, right? But this system.out.println is smart. It understands things like mathematical operation. If we do this, it is going to give us the last. What if I want the last two digits? What I need to do? Now everyone tell me what I need to do to find out the last two digits. Last two digits, I want 25. So this is the result that I want. If I want last two digits, then I need to divide it by 100. On dividing it by 100, the remainder is going to be the last two digits. Look at it. If you did not get it, so let me show it. So let's say the number is 125. Okay, what is our number? Number is 125. So we divide it by 10. Okay. Now 10 1 is 10. So we have 25. 10 2 is 20. So the last remainder is 5. Okay, the last digit. If we divide it by 100, 125 1 is 100. We get 25. So the remainder is 25 this time. Understood? Yes. No. Okay. So if I want last three digits, what I need to do? Last three digits. How would I get the last three digits? So let's say this was a large number. How can I get the last three digits? In this case, 356. Now everyone, अब तो trick समझ आ गया होगा. What's the trick over here? We need to divide it by 1000, or we need to percentage 1000. We want, if we divide it by 1000, the result is different. If we want to do the percentage, we'll get a different result. Percentage. A percentage 1000 is going to give us the remainder of this number, which is the last three digits, right? After dividing it by 1000. Acha. Now, similarly, so we understood, okay, how can we get the last three digits? We can do that. What if I want to remove the last digit? So what if I want to remove this last digit and print this part of the number? How can I do that? And think of it, I've shown that right now in the screen. We just think you'll be able to answer. If I divide it by 10, then it would remove the last digit. Now look, what is happening if I divide it by 10? Okay. And I run this. So if I just do percentage 6, now look at this, what is happening on this number, right? Look at this carefully. If you understand this, the next thing is going to be super interesting. So let's say this is our number, right? 356. We divide it by 10. So 10 1 is 10. We have 25 as remainder. So 10 to the 20, we have 5, 53. 10 5 the 50, we have 35. Then 10 3 the 30, we have 56. And then we have 10 5 the 50, and we have 6. So when we divide by 10 and we try to get the remainder, we get the last digit. Okay. But if it were division, so what is this going to return you? This returns you the quotient, right? What is the quotient? This part, right? So this is going to be your this part of the number 1, 2, 5, 3, 5. Yes. So the division removes the last digit. The percentage gives you the last digit. Simple. If you try to get the remainder after dividing by 10, you will get the last digit. If you try to divide it by 10, it will remove the last digit and it will give you the remaining part of the number. Yes, got it? Clear? Understood these two small concepts? So I can tell you some interesting what are using this. How can you remove the last digit? How can you get the last digit? Yes. Achha. What can I keep on getting the last digit continuously? So let's say there is a simple question to find sum of digits of a number. How can I do that? Interesting. Achha, chalo, before I tell you this, let me tell you something interesting. Okay. So when I taught you loop, right, what did I tell you? So you have 4 parts in loop, right? So you have 4, then you have, we write int I is equals to 1, we write I less than equals to 10, I plus plus, or I equals to I plus 1, right? We write it something like this. And then we write something like system dot out dot println I, something like this, right? Now I told you that loop has 4 parts. But are these 4 parts compulsory, or can we like remove any one of the parts? So actually, you don't need to write all the 4 parts compulsorily. So what is going to happen if I remove this updation? Is it going to work? Yes, it is actually going to work, but there is going to be one problem. What's the problem? Can you guess? If I run this, see, it is not ending, it is continuously printing 1. It will keep on printing 1, it will not stop, right? This part is not going to stop, it is continuously going to print 1, right? It is continuously going to keep on running and keep on printing 1. Yes. Okay. So if I don't see now, if I don't stop, it will keep on running. So why is it happening? Because it is not increasing its value. It's still at 1. Okay. Okay. So that's strange. What if I remove this condition? Then what is going to happen? Is it not going to run? No. If you don't write any condition, by default, this is true. What is going to happen? It is still going to see an infinite loop where it is increasing the value this time. But since there is no condition, it is always true. So it always enters the body and keeps on running. So it is increasing the value, it is running, it is printing the values. But this time also it is not going to end because we don't have any condition. Okay. Interesting. What if I want to move the initialization? Right. So you can remove it, but since this variable I is not created, it will give you error, right? If you just remove it and you try to run this is error because you don't have any variable I. Can I do something else? Yes, you can write it outside the loop. That is going to work. If you write this variable outside the loop, that is fine, right? So writing that variable outside the loop will allow you to use it in the loop. Now see, it is working fine. So basically what I'm trying to tell you here is that these 4 parts in the loop that you have, right? These are not fixed and these are not compulsory to write as well. These are optional, right? So you can skip any one of these parts, and depending on which part you have removed, your loop is going to behave differently, right? If you remove the condition, it will become an infinite loop. So the condition is something which you will always want to write. Okay. We don't want infinite loop because we don't want a situation where user is not able to use our app. It runs into something like infinite loop. Okay. we would want to do a increment, right? We'll want to do a updation, so that our loops it keeps on increasing. We want to do this updation as well. Okay. So you'd want the updation to happen, right? So if you want, you can remove it, and you want to put it in the body, that also you can do. So this is not an infinite loop. The updation is happening, but this time the updation is happening in the body. So that is also fine, right? When does the updation run? Updation runs after the body, so that is also fine. So you would want updation. If you want to move the initialization outside, you can do that. Right. So our loop is basically flexible to move the initialization outside, to just have the condition. You can move the updation inside the body wherever you want, right? But the loop runs in the same way. It will first do this part, which is initialization, then it will check the condition, go to the body, it will check the updation, which we don't have anything, then it will go to condition. The order of running remains same, no matter if you have moved anything here and there, it is going to run. And you have to still put these semicolons. It's not like you can skip this semicolon. If you don't have to put anything in initialization, you still have to put this semicolon. So anything between this bracket and semicolon is initialization. Anything between these two brackets are conditions. Anything between, these two semicolons are condition. Anything between this semicolon and this bracket is updation. Okay. Understood? Hello. If you understood this, how many of you have doubts? Understood? Thoda idea laga? Basically getting what I'm trying to say. You can move things here and there. The loop still runs in the same way, just that the things are getting checked or things are getting updated at different places and different times. Okay. Understood? Yes, no, no, yes, no, no, yes. No, yes, clear. Okay. So, okay, if you understood this, so let's use something like this to here. So what if we want to find out the sum of digits? So what is the number? Let's say, firstly, we have a number as, let's say 124. Okay. Now we want to run a loop. We don't have any initialization. We don't want to do this until when we want to find out the sum of digits. We want to find out the sum of digits until the number is not equal to 0. We don't have any updation. So now what we are going to do over here, see. Now this is going to be used in a lot of questions like finding out sum of digits, anything related to digits of the number, you are going to use the same logic. So how are we going to traverse through the digits? So for example, we need, if you want to find out the sum of digits, we need each digit, right? हमें सारे digits भी तो चाहिए. Then only we'll be able to find out the sum. So how are we going to get the digits? Using this logic that we just stated. So what will we do? We'll try to find out the digits. So let's say what is the digit? So n percentage 10. Which digit is it going to give me? It is going to give me the last digit, which is 4. Now what I want to do, I want to find out the sum. We already know how to find out sum of something. We'll take the sum as 0, and every iteration will increase the sum by 1. So we'll increase the sum plus, we'll increase the sum not by 1, sorry, sum by the digit that we found out. Okay. So we found out the last digit. Now look at here. What's happening? So firstly, we took a number which is 124. Okay. Then we checked, is 124 equals to 0? No, it is not equals to 0. So find out the last digit. How did we find out? So 124 dividing by 10, we got 10, we got 24, 2, 20, we got 4. So this will give us the last digit as 4. So we'll get the last digit as 4 over here. Now we'll add this 4 to our sum. So our sum becomes 4. So added the last digit. Now, if I just find out one way to remove this last digit, next iteration I'll be finding out 2 as the last digit. Is there any way to remove this last digit? Did we just see something? How can we remove the last digit? कुछ ऐसा मिला था? Something like this, dividing it by 10, will it remove the last digit? Yes. Now, if I divide this number by 10, it will remove the last digit. Now, look what is going to happen. So now, if I divide it by 10, the number is from 124, it's going to become 12. Okay? The number changed from 124 to 12. Sum became 4. That's it. Next time, like, so this loop runs again and again until we hit the false condition. We go to updation. There is nothing in updation. We check the condition. Is the condition true? 12 not equal to 0. Yes, this is true. So we'll go into the body. Okay. Now what are we going to do in the body? Right. So inside the body, we are going to check is n percentage, and we'll find out the last digit. Right. So 12 percentage 10 will get 2. So the last digit that we'll get this time is 2. We'll add this 2 to the sum. We'll get this number as sum as 6. We'll get this sum as 6. Okay. We'll add 2 to the sum. We'll get the sum as 6. Okay. Now what's next? We got the sum as 6. We'll divide this number by 10. We got the sum as 6. We'll divide this number by 10. Now we'll make this number from 12 to 1. Next time we'll again check, is 1 not equals to 0? Yes, 1 is also not equals to 0. So let's proceed and let's run this logic as well. So 1 is also not equals to 0. We go inside and this time we find out again the digit. So what is the digit this time? So this time we get n percentage 10, 1 percentage 10 is 1. If you divide 1 by 10, 10 0 is 0, 1. So 1 is the remainder. We get 1. We add this 1 to our sum, which becomes 7. Okay. And then finally we divide 1 by 10. So 1 by 10, the division is resulting in the quotient 0. Now this time it has become 0. Is 0 not equal to 0? No, this is false. We come outside of the loop. What is the sum that we are having when we came out of the loop? 7. जब हम loop के बाहर आए तो हमारे पास sum क्या था? 7. Now is it the correct result? 4 plus 2 6 plus 1 7. Yes, it is the correct result. So if I print it, it should be printing the sum of digits. Now understood how can we get the sum of digits using this small trick and the loops? And it's a little bit tricky at the first go, but it's not difficult to understand. थोड़ा सा tricky लगेगा in the first go, but difficult. Are you feeling it difficult? We just use this concept and we can just use the concept of flexible loops. Right? So loops are little bit flexible. So use करके we wrote this logic. Make sense? Yes. So you can think it like this. We are finding out the last digit. So firstly we find out the last digit, which is 4. Then we found out the next last digit, which is 2. And then we found out the next last digit, which is 1. We added this to the sum. So sum became 4. Then we added 2 to it, became 6. And then we added 1 to it, became 7. Okay. So this is how we got the result. 4, 2, 7. And we got the 7 as 6. We printed it. So this is our final result. Yes. Easy. Clear? Anyone having doubts? Doubts? No doubts? Now, similarly, we can solve things on anything related to digits, like finding out the sum of digits, finding out the sum of squares of digits. Okay. If I just change this question to a little bit, chalo, tell me one thing. What is the thing that you need to change if I tell you to find out the sum of square of digits? So basically, I'm telling you to do this instead of finding. So what's the result that I want? I want the sum of square of digits. So from this, I don't want this 1 plus 2 plus 4. I want 124 sum is 1 into 1 plus 2 into 2 plus 4 into 4. How can I do this? Think, tell. No idea. No one got any idea. किसी को भी नहीं समझ आया. How can we find out the sum of squares of digits? Yes, now I'm seeing few questions. Okay, Sagar. Digit is equal to digit into digit. Yes, that's how we can update the digit as well. Or we can do it in the sum as well. So the digit that we are getting, we just need to do sum is equal to sum plus digit into digit. So this will be multiplication of digits and we are adding it to the sum. Simple. Easy. Convenient. Can this be done? Okay. Now, can you find out the cube? If I tell you to find out the cube of digits, sum of cube of digits 1 into 1 into 1 plus 2 into 2 into 2 plus 4 into 4 into 4. Can you do this? Sum cube to the power 4, anything you can do now, right? Okay, that's easy. Chalo, we'll continue with this, right? We'll continue with a lot more questions. Okay, let me quickly give you a 5 minutes break, right? I guess you all are here for 1.5 hours. Now you need some break. So 5 minutes will work. Go freshen up. have some waters to drink. If you want to eat something, go grab something to munch, right? And come back within 5 minutes. We'll start quickly. Okay. Okay, hello, welcome back. I hope you all got some time to relax. Right, I think we can continue from where we left off. Okay, so did you all understand this? Any doubts on the digits wala part? Is this clear? How can you manipulate digits to find out sum of square of digits, right? Sum of cube of digits, right? Yes, no. Okay, I don't see any doubts then. So I think we can proceed. Okay. Next is, chalo, can you find out the power of a number? So there are similar, if there is any such thing required on digits, right? So let's say if I give you a question, right? Let's say, let's before going to things like power or something, let's try to play around a little bit more with digits. So you get a little bit more comfortable. Okay. Wait, what did we do over here? We printed the sum of digits. Okay. What if I asked you something like a little bit unique? So what if I asked you to find the sum of even digits? How can you do that? Sum of even digits. The question is find out the sum of even digits. So what should be the answer over here? So the answer should be 6. How will you find out the sum of even digits? Go on. Sum of even digits. थोड़ा सा सोचना है. How will you check whether a digit is even or not? So this is the sum of digits, right? If I run this logic, what is it printing? It is printing the sum of digits, which is 7. Now I have to check before finding out the sum if the digit is even or not. So do we have something like conditionals? क्या हम conditionals सोच सकते हैं? Can we think something like conditionals? We can put condition to check whether a digit is even or not, or something like that. No? Yes? Okay. Say, what if I do percentage, n percentage? Yes. Now I see a few answers. If I check not n, what if I have to check the digit, right? So I have to check the digit. So I have to check sum of even digits. So I have to check whether a digit is even or not. The number can be even or odd, right? The number can be odd as well. Like if this is what is the sum of even digits? The even digit sum is still 6. The number can be odd, but I want to check it on the digits. Is the digit even or is the digits odd? The digits is even, so we want to find out the sum. Okay, understood? We'll find out the sum and it will give us the sum of the digits. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Clear. No. Now if I run this, it is going to give us the sum. What if I want to find out the sum of odd digits now? Odd digits का sum कैसे मिलेगा? 7 plus 1. What the change? So I simply change it to not equals to. So this will give me the sum of odd digits. Just see, using a if conditional inside a loop to check whether a digit is even or odd. See, so we picked small things and we built something like this, which is really tricky to think in the first one. That we use a if conditional inside a loop. Now see, is it looking too difficult that you cannot understand? If I put something like this, it will look like, oh, this is something what I've written, right? No one is able to understand. But it is very simple, right? To read it. If you understand this thing, what is happening, it becomes very simple, right? Okay, find out the sum of even digits, find out the sum of odd digits. Okay, okay, that thing you can do. Okay, can you count all the even digits? If I just change the question to not find out the sum, but this time to count the even digit, to count the odd digits, can we do that? So let's say we want to count the even digits or count the digits. Let's say count the digits. So what I need to do? So every time I find a digit, so how can I count a digit? I can do a count is equals to 0. Every time I find a digit, I can increase the count plus 1. That's it. And at the end, we can print the count. So this is printing the count of digit is 4. If I change this number to something like this, it's going to print the count of digit is 6. Okay. Okay. So it is going to be the count of digits is going to be basically so the count is digit is just increasing the count by one every time I find a digit. That's going to print the count of digits. Simple. Understood? Easy. So can you count the even digits? Acha. Now can you try these two questions yourself? Count even and odd digits of a number. Can you do that? Even and odd digits of a number. Yes. No. 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 Yes. Okay. I don't see anyone doubts. Can you count all the even and odd digits of a number? Can you do that? Can you print the count of even and odd digits separately? Can you do that? Is that easy? Okay. So, okay. So I'll leave this for you to do. Okay. So let's move to one interesting question. Let's say, can you find out the power of any number? Let's say I want to find out a raised to the power b. Can you do that? How can you do? Like, I want the solution for from everyone. How many of you are from using a laptop or something? You can quickly type out the code in the chat. Let's say I have a number int a is equals to 5 and b is equals to, let's say, 3. So I want to find out 5 raised to the power 3. So how can I do that? 5 raised to the power 3. Think it's not difficult. It's super easy. We use the things that we learned till now. How can you find out 5 into 5 into 5? What is the initial value? How can you store it in a variable? How many times you need to run the loop? Is it going to run for A times? Is it going to run for B times? Is it going to run for something else? Think. Okay. If you're using a laptop, please type it out in the chat. If you're using a mobile phone, just type out just what you want to do. Just write a logic step by step. Just write that I will run a loop from this to this. Type it in text. Like will convert it into code. Mat.pow we can do it, but can you use a loop? Mat.power so TK. Mat.pow we can use 5 a comma b. But how can you do it using loops? How can we find that value? A into A into A. But what if B value is 4 or 5 or 6, something like that? Then we don't know B's value, right? Agar B value is, let's say, user input. We have both the values as the user input. Then we don't know both the values. I want to find out A raised to the power B. Then what will you do? Agar aisa hai, we don't know both the values. We want to find out A raised to the power B and it is user input. So whatever it can be. 5, 3, 5, 4, 5, 8, 6, 7, right? How will you find out? Okay, Vishnu got a solution and it's correct. Yes. What about others? So see, we want to multiply A how many times? We want to multiply A B times. Okay. So we will run a loop for B times because that is the number of times I want to multiply A. Right. So I'll run a loop for B times. Okay. I'll run a loop for B times. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to multiply A B times. So what I can do is, and let's say to call it as power, which is initially 1. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to multiply A B times. So see, every time the loop runs, I multiply A 1 time. So initially I have when the loop runs for I equals to 1. So let's say A value is 5 and B value is 3. Okay. A value 5 है, B value 3 है. ठीक है. Now see, what I want to do over here is, firstly, I am taking a p is equals to 1. Now, when this loop runs for the first time, I want to do p into 5, which I get as 2. Okay. Next, I again do p. Next time the loop runs, I do p, which is 5 into 5, which is 25. Here, b is 3. So, I am now the third time. So, I ran for 1 when I did 1 to 5. Then it became 2, I did into 5, then it became 3. When the loop is running for the third time, I multiplied a 5 again. It became 125. Now, when it became 125, this I became 4. This is no longer satisfies, 4 less than 3. This is no longer satisfying. The condition is false, we come outside. Now, what do we have the final result of 5 into 5 into 5? Yes, we do. So this time, if I print this, system.out.println p, which is going to print the product of a multiplied a raised to the power b. Let me as 5, a and b is 3. We are going to get 125. Okay. If I run it for some other value, let's say now this is a common solution for power. So let's say if I run it for 2, 6, so we are going to get 64. Yes. It's going to work for any two values where you give a raised to the power, and it is going to find out the a raised to the power b. Understood? Making sense? What understanding of little bit? See, if you are able to understand 50% of this in the class now, that's very good, right? That's I want just 50%. 50% समझ आ गया कि हाँ, this is something which is happening. I'm running a loop for b times, and then every time I'm just multiplying it. Remaining 50%, how are you going to learn? When you write it yourself. When you look at this code again after the class, when you type it out yourself, the 50% learning is going to happen there. Right? When you try to think about this again, how is it going, how it's working, right? So then the remaining 50% of learning is going to happen. Yes. Explain again. Chalo. Let's try to understand this again. Right? Let's try to look at this one again. So see, what are we doing over here is, so we have two variables, okay, a and b. So a what we took this time, a we took as 2. What we took b as 6. Okay. Now we are running a loop that starts from I and that runs for b times. B times. Okay. So start from I equals to 1. We check is 1 less than 6. Yes, 1 is less than 6. And then set the loop. If we do p is equals to p into a, which is 1 into 2. So find out the value 2 and we store it back in p. Now increase I becomes 2. We check the condition. Is 2 less than b? Yes, 2 is less than 6. We check the condition. 2 is less than equals to 6. This is true. So now we go again inside and we do p is equals to 2 into 2, which is 4. Okay. Now we again increase I becomes 3. We check the condition 3 less than equals to 6, which is fine. So we again go inside, and this time what we are doing is we are having p as 4 and we are multiplying 2 again. See, a value is 2. हम हर बार 2 ही multiply कर रहे हैं, right? But the value that we are getting, right, after this multiplication, we are multiplying 2 with that. तो ऐसे समझो हम ये करें 2 into 2 into 2 into 3, 4, 5, 6 times करना था ना. We found out this. We told 4. Now we are multiplying 4 with 2, so we get 6. Now we multiply 6 with 2, we get 4 with 2, we get 8. Now we multiply 8 with 2, we get 16. Now we multiply 16 with 2, we get 32, and then we multiply 32 with 2, we get 64. Now this is going to learn again 6, then 8 into 2, we are going to get 16. Okay. Then it's going to become 5, then we are going to multiply it again, it becomes 32. Then it's going to become 6, which is again true. So we are going to do 32 into 2, which is going to become 64. Now when it becomes 7, this condition is false. 7 less than 6, this becomes false. We come outside of the loop and p's value is 64, which we are going to. Understood? Clear? Easy. Okay. So we found out the power of something. Okay. We found out we played around with the digits. Chalo, now let's do an interesting question. Okay. Can you find out the largest number? Acha. Okay, just a second. The second largest number, that is a question from arrays. How is this over here? Just a second. Largest among of three numbers. Yes, yes. Among three numbers, among four numbers that we have done, but just a second. There was one question that I saw yesterday. Second largest integer. This is an array question. How is this over here? Okay, I guess this has been misaligned. Okay, so okay, we can skip this one. Okay, I'll check. This one is misaligned. This should not be over here, right? Yeah, this is all using loops, but this is also using arrays, right? So this should not be over here. We don't know. We have not learned yet about arrays, right? So okay, I guess there is something that is got misaligned, and there are 2-3 questions that's there. Otherwise, remaining questions we could have done. Acha. Now let's go from this, right? Let's try to go from here. And let's try to check whether we have solved all the questions. Some conditionals did we solve? So these two questions I solved in the class, right? Which angle, triangle, leap year. Okay. Now the next question that you had was in conditionals recap. So from this, did you solve all the questions? So basically, did you solve palindrome checker verifying whether a number reads the same backward, forward? Oh, now this is interesting. Acha. Chalo, let's use this digit wala thing to find something interesting. So we did digit, right? We did play around with the digit. Now, can you find the reverse of a number? So let's say I have a number which is telling 234. So can you find out the reverse of this, which is 5432? Can you find out the reverse of this number? So the number is 2345. Can you find out the reverse of this number? Now, how will we get the reverse thing? What's the way to get the reverse of the number? ठीक है, चलो. Okay, so let's solve this question, right? How to find out the reverse of any number. So what is the reverse of any number? So basically, the number that is found by putting the digits in the reverse order. Like, so we have put 2, 3, 4, 5. If we put the digits in the reverse order, 5, 4, 3, 2. So that's the reverse of the number, right? Now, how can we do that? So let's start by finding out the digits, right? Some digits कैसे find out करते हैं? We came to know that there is a way to find out the digit, which is we'll check if a is not equals to 0. We'll keep on doing this work. We'll find out the digit of the number, which is a percentage 10. Okay, we'll get the last digit. And if I do just 8 is equals to 8 divided by 10, this will remove the last digit. Okay, we found out the last digit, we removed it. Now, can we store it somewhere? So we'll get 5, we'll get 4. So how are we going to get their digits? So we are going to get their digits as, first we'll get 5, then we get 4, then we get 3, and then we get 2. So if we just store it in this order, will we get the reverse of the number? अगर हम इसे इस order में just store कर लें, तो हमें reverse मिल जाएगा number का. We'll get the reverse of the number. So we are getting the first digit as 5, then we are getting 4, then we are getting 3, then we are getting 2. We are getting the digits in the backward order. So while finding out the sum, while finding out the digits, these all things did not matter. We just wanted the digits, we just wanted the sum of digits, we just wanted the product of digits, we just wanted the even digits or digits, right? So the order was not mattering to us, right? So now, can we use the same thing if the order is not mattering? Now, can we use this reverse order to find out the reverse? So, chalo, tell me one thing. So, let's say there is a number 123. Okay? And I want to add a digit 8 to the end of this number mathematically. Let's say this is a variable a is equals to this, b is equals to this. How will you change A to, how will you change A is equals to 1238? How will you do this? How is this going to happen? Think and then tell. I'll give you a minute to think. Okay, and the solution is very simple. How are you going to put a 8 at the end of this? Think and then tell me the solution. What are you going to do? Tell me that mathematical statement. Very easy. Just think. So let me give you one hint. Something related to 10. Now think. No, no one got the idea. कि how can you add a 8 to the end of this number? इस नंबर के एंड में 8 कैसे ऐड होगा? कोई तो तरीका होगा. Is there any way to add 8 to the end of this number? अच्छा, what if I multiply this number by 10 and add 8? Will it change to 1238? Multiplying 10 and then adding 8. Will it change the number? Yes, it works. Right. So if I do 123 into 10 plus 8, will it change it to 1238? Yes. So basically, if I put it in code, what I need to write, if I want to add B at the end of this number, and I know B is a single digit number. So I'll do B is equals to A into 10 plus 8. Or A into 10 plus B. So what will this result in? This will result in 123 into 10 plus 8, which is 1238. Yes. So is this the statement? A into 10 plus B. Yes. Achha. Now, why did I tell you this? What's the use of this? Can we use it somehow? Can we use it somewhere? Right? Is there any place where I can use this? Yes, there is a place where we can use this. Now think of this one, right? Think of the scenario like this. So where we want to find out the reverse, what we are getting 5, then 4, then 3, then 2. So if I do 5 into 10 plus 4, we'll get 54. Okay. If I do 54 into 10 plus 3, we'll get 543. If we do this into 10 plus 2, we'll get 5432. Yes, are we getting the reverse of the number? क्या हमें reverse मिल गया? Did we just find out the reverse? So basically, every digit into 10, whatever number we formed, right? So what is the reverse? So let's say the initially reverse is 0. And what did we do over here is reverse is equals to reverse. Whatever reverse we have formed till now, that multiplied by 10 plus the last digit at 10. Now if I print this, this is going to tell me the reverse of this number is this. If I run this, are we getting 5432, which is the reverse of the current number? We got the reverse of the current number, which is 5432. How did we get this? See, kaise aaya? How did we reach this? So we did this as A percentage 10. We divided firstly A by 10. We got the remainder. Right. Once we got the remainder, what we are doing is we are multiplying that, we are multiplying the current reverse by 10 and we are adding that remainder. Now let me give a quick run through it. How is it working, right? How this code is running. So the best way to understand a code is by running it step by step, right? We have A is equals to 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now what we are checking is this 0. Is this not equal to 0? Yes, it is not equal to 0. Let's try to find out the last digit on it, right? If it is not equal to 0, then let's try to find out the last digit. So we'll get D is equal to 5, which is the last digit. Okay. Now let's try to find out the reverse. What we are doing in reverse, look at this one. Look at this one carefully. So we are doing reverse into 10 plus T, which is reverse is currently 0. So we are doing 0 into 10 plus 5. We get this as 5. So our reverse is currently 5. Okay. And then we do A is equals to A divided by 10, which changes A to 234. Like we were doing earlier. Find out the last digit, remove the last digit. Find out the last digit, remove the last digit. This middle thing where we want to find out the sum of the digit, product of digit, count of even digits, count of odd digits, whatever we want to do. This is the part where we are going to write that logic. Okay. Now right now we are finding out the reverse. So what we are doing is we are finding out we are writing the reverse here. Okay. Next, what we need to do? Next iteration, when this happens, we get the last digit not as 5, but this time the number has changed. So we get the last digit as 4. We have the reverse as 5. So we already have the reverse as 5. So we are multiplying it by 10 and we are adding 4. Reverse into 10 plus t. So it is becoming 50 plus 4, which is 54. Okay. And then we remove the last digit, which is we remove 4, which is becomes 20. Next time we find out the digit, it becomes 3. And this time we have 54. Here reverse hota hua dikh raha hai, right? This is the reverse. We multiply 10 to 8 and we add 3. So it becomes 543. And then we change the number to 2. And the last time we get the digit as 2, the last iteration we get the digit as 2. 2 is not less equal to 0. We add 10, sorry, multiply by 10, add 2. It becomes 5432. Okay. And then we change the number to 0. Divide by 10, it becomes 0. It is not equal to 0. This is false. We come outside, we'll get the reverse, which is 5432, right? Understood? How are we getting the reverse? Yes, yes, no, 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 yes. Clear? Got some idea? Is it difficult? Is it looking difficult to you all? Anyone feeling this is difficult, very difficult? Okay. Okay. So if you understood this, we found out what's the reverse of a number. I mean, reverse mil gaya, right? We understood what is the reverse of a number. We got reverse. Now, can we do something with the reverse? Kuch to kar sakte with reverse, right? We could do things like we can find out like let's say whether the reverse is equal to the number or not, right? Huh. Now we can use, right? We can check whether the reverse is equal to some number or not. We can check whether, let's say, reverse is even, reverse is odd. There can be a question asked on reverse, right? So let's say the question is asked, check if the reverse is even. So we'll check if reverse percentage 2 double equals to 0, we'll print, oh, it is even. Right? If we run this, we will say, oh, reverse is even. Right? If it is not, okay, so it is printing the reverse and it is even. Right? Okay. Now, can we check it for palindrome? Yes, we can check it. So before that, I have Shika with me. So Shika would want to take a quick round of quiz with you, right? So that you'll enjoy, right? And then we can continue from here. Okay, now we'll play around with this reverse. We'll check whether it is palindrome, whether it is something or not. Okay. Yes, Shika, you can take over. Yeah. Let me just stop this thing.
Hi everyone. Are we around? Can I have a quick hi from the audience that is around? And thank you so much, Ritik. So I hope so. This is your last class, guys. Though you'll have two more classes, that is on 13th and 14th, but they won't be the most compulsory classes to join. They'll be doubt clearance classes, and those would be classes where you can just continue with the course, right? If you want to learn more, if you want to dig deeper into loops, or see into other assignments as well, so you can go ahead and join these classes. But yes, they won't be compulsory classes as such. Okay, so I have a hello from Prakhar. Hi, Prakhar. Hi, Pujita. Hi, Sai. So there are few people I always see in the live classes. So good to see the people who are always there. So guys, can we have a quick hi from everyone else as well? Can I have a quick hi, or can I please take that? Hi, Asif. Okay, hi, Sagar. Hi, Vishnu. Hello, Vibha. There are a lot of new names today, isn't it? Who are the new joinees today? We get to know the new joinees. New joinees, can you type a me in the chat section? A me, just a me in the chat section. Okay, Shreya is here. Deepak is here. Okay, Sagar is a new joinee. Asif is a new joinee. Looks by your name, Asif. I haven't read these names. Okay, so I have Sindavar as the new joinee. And then we have, okay, Palnati. Is he a new joinee? I have no clue. Okay, great. So Deepak says not me. Good to hear that, Deepak. Any which ways, guys. So quickly going ahead with my quiz section, I'll quickly introduce this section for you, and then I'll continue with the quiz, right? And since why do we have the new joinees on the last day, guys? You are pretty late. But since you've come to the classes, you can watch the class recordings now. You'll find all class recordings on the website itself, right? And besides that, anything else that I have to inform you is that please solve assignments. You have to solve at least 12 assignments to become eligible to give the coding test, followed by the technical interview, right? And this coding test and technical interview would go on till 15th now, right? Earlier it was supposed to go on till 14th, but now we've extended it till 15th. So make sure you go ahead and give the coding test and technical interview before 15th. This is clear, everyone. Can we have a quick thumbs up? And are we solving assignments? Chat section, are we solving assignments? One more, yes or no? Oh, it's nice to have the reactions as well. Can I actually try sending a reaction myself? ठीक है चलो ये मैंने ही भेजा था but ठीक है can I get to know guys if you're solving assignments or not? Good, so we have thumbs ups coming in, so I believe that means we're solving assignments, isn't it? Wow, thank you so much for the thumbs up. Any which way, sharing my screen now. So here I am introducing the quiz section for you, everyone. So just 15 minutes of your time required here. So welcome to AccioJob Premier League, everyone. This is your place to learn and win. And why do we say this is your place to learn and win? It's something I repeat every day. So I'll just repeat it once again. So at step one, you join your free live class, which all of you have already joined. At step two, you learn coding from world-class instructors, which I believe Ritik is. And then we have at the third step that you play in the live quiz that is happening right now, and you get a chance to win rewards up to rupees 20,000. Right now, what happens is that the first three winners in this quiz would get an Amazon voucher from our end. Since Amazon is a very good and humble placement partner, they'll be providing a voucher to the students who win here. And at the fourth step, you enroll in AccioJob with 100% job assurance. Now, guys, what happens here is that I'll be asking you 4 questions, right? And you have 50 seconds to answer every question. As soon as you answer a question, and if you're fast and if you're correct, you get or higher on the points table, right? And the points table would be displayed at the end. That's it. Chalo, on that note, going ahead, and so here is what your Amazon voucher might just look like. And okay, so this is something. Okay, any which ways, guys, I'll be sharing a link in the chat section now to make sure open karo. Yeah, Akash, let's just wait. Let's just wait for the new joinees to understand this. Okay. So, okay, I'll quickly share the link in the chat section. Make sure you go ahead and click on that link and type in your correct email IDs to start the quiz. Only then we'll be able to send you the reward. Okay, on that note, presenting my screen. Also, chat section, one final thing. Can we have an excited in the chat section? Can we have quick excited? यार इतना तो हो ही सकता है. Great. So not yeses, Vibha, just excited. Okay, hey everyone, here is your link to join. Akash, can we have an excited from you as well? Probably then we'll be able to send the quiz link. Okay, so I am here. Before sending the quiz link, I'm waiting for one more excited to go, and probably then I'll be able to share the link. Can I have one more excited chat section? I think I will. Let's just see. Can we have more excited chat section? Great, thank you. Got it. Chalo, theek hai. Going ahead, here is the link for you to join. Everybody pay attention to the chat section now. Here is your link to join the quiz. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen once again, and here we begin now. So I have how many people joining in? Just 6 people here, 7 people here. Where are the rest of the people? Okay, so we have 10 people, more to go. Chat section sharing the link. Once again, if you have any informal, unofficial WhatsApp groups, please let your friends know. Okay, so we have 12 people who are here right now. What about the others? Guys, where are you? Or should I start with the countdown right now? I think idhar jaake stable ho gaya hai, so I can quickly begin with the countdown. Okay, so here I am starting with my countdown now. So I believe chat section, can you help me out here? Starting from a 10. Can someone start from a 10? Okay, so Dilip Prasad starts from 10. Where is a 9? Prince says 9. Open nahi ho raha hai mere se. Akash, can you try using this link? एक बार click करो and you will be able to open this link. Just try clicking on this link. इससे open हो जाएगा. Okay, so Prince says 8 again. 7 says who? 7 says who? Guys, there's a 5. Okay, 7 says Vishnu. 6 says who? 6 says Sai again. 5 says Prince. 4 says Prakhar. 3 says who? 3 says Prince. Okay, repetitive names ho gaye yaar. 2 says Prakhar and 1 says Vishnu. Okay, Akash, sharing the link and Sai says 0. Okay, sharing the link one more time. एक बार try करो. It is not opening. एक बार फिर से try करो, right? Or if you can, go ahead and try clicking on this link. बस, that is it. इस पे click करने से अपने आप open हो जाएगा. So I believe you will be open and type email. That is all you have to do. Prakhar is right. So I believe you'll be able to open it and chalo yaar, we'll wait for 5 more seconds, Akash, if you're able to open it, and then we'll begin, right? So we have 17 people and let's just begin with 17 people only today. So we'll have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, 0. Everybody focus on your screens. Here we are starting right now. So here we are beginning. And the first question is that you have to type in your name. So make sure you type in your correct name. Okay. So make sure you again type in your correct names and let me know what all icons or avatars have you been assigned. I can see a banana on my screen and a penguin and a strawberry as well. What are the rest of these icons? Snowman, okay. Tiger, okay. Prakhar is the banana. Manjusha is the tiger. Where are the others? Guys, what are you? I can see people are joining in. There is someone who's a crocodile. Okay, Sai is a crocodile. And there's someone who's a penguin as well. Okay, so guys, here I am. I believe all of us have already joined in. If we haven't, there's someone who's a cake. Oh, nice. Yeah. Going ahead, everybody. Here I am starting with my first question. Pay attention to your screens. It is all about GK this time. Chat section, best of luck. Let's see who wins. Okay, strawberries and dragons. Let's see who. Hope you guys win. Okay, here I am starting with the quiz now. Okay, answer fast to get more points and answer correctly. And the first question is, what is the name of Google's AI-powered chatbot because of which it lost $100 billion in a day? Bard, ChatGPT, AI Master, Bloom. What is the name of Google's AI-powered chatbot because of which it lost $100 billion in one day? Bard, ChatGPT, AI Master, Bloom. What do you think? 25 seconds to go. Chat section has answers. Guys, we have sort of right and wrong answers. I think most of us are going in the wrong direction. 14 seconds to go, guys. Take a random guess. Chalo, yehi karte hain aaj. It is Google's AI-powered chatbot. And I believe most of us are getting it wrong. Okay, very few of us got it right and everyone has answered. So the correct answer is Bard, guys. And why did we say ChatGPT? It is not ChatGPT. ChatGPT is owned by OpenAI, right? And Bard is something that is owned by Google. And very recently, Google has relaunched Bard. It had to be taken down because of a lot of errors it was facing. But very recently, Bard has been launched in India as well. So congratulations, we can go ahead and discover Bard now. Okay, now going ahead with my next question, that section. Let's pay attention to our phone or laptop screens, whichever screen we are using. And here we go now. So my question to you is this. Answer fast to get more points and answer correctly. And the question is, who amongst these is the new CEO of Twitter replacing Elon Musk? Very, very recent decision. Linda Yaccarino, Bernard Arnold, Joshua Hallman, or John Robinson? Who amongst these is the new CEO of Twitter, replacing Elon Musk? Very, very recent decision. That is why I was saying you this is all about GK. Okay, 20 seconds to go. Do we have any answer in the chat section today? Linda Yaccarino, Bernard Arnold, Joshua Hallman, or John Robinson? What do you think? Akash, you know answers, I guess. 5 seconds to go, guys. And Akash is quite right. Why am I giving a big hint? Okay, 0. And the correct answer here is Linda Yaccarino. She is the new CEO of Twitter now, replacing Elon Musk. But worry not, he is not taken down Twitter or वो Twitter छोड़ नहीं रहा है. He's just stepped out of that position and he'll be focusing more on bringing in new technologies. This is what he says. So yes, this is something that has happened now. So any which way is going ahead with my next question, everybody. Are we ready? So let's just go ahead with my next question. And the question is this, okay, right here on your screens. So let's just see what the question is and focus on your screens. Answer fast to get more points and answer correctly. And the question is, can you identify the person in this picture who is currently the richest man in the world, owning the famous fashion line Louis Vuitton? This is something not related to tech, but he was very recently beating a tech person here. Bill Gates, Bernard Arnold, Warren Buffett, or Jeff Bezos? Who is this person? Do we know? Chat section, do you know? Can you identify the person in this picture who is currently the richest man in the world, owning the famous fashion line Louis Vuitton? Louis Vuitton, जो भी हम लोग बोलते हैं, but it is Louis Vuitton. 10 seconds to go. What do you think, chat section? Oh, we have answers. Good answers to go. यार आकाश, ये तो थोड़ा ज्यादा हो गया. Please, let's not use this language. Okay, so we have Bernard Arnold is the correct answer. And okay, so here we go, guys. This person owns the famous fashion line Louis Vuitton and is currently the richest man in the world, overtaking Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, all of these tech people. He is now overtaking them. Okay, now going ahead with my last question for the day. So here is my last question, guys. Let's just focus on the last question, and here we go. So hope we have pretty ample research about AccioJob, and let's just see what we have here. All correct answers give you the maximum points. As a CSR initiative, AccioJob pledges to provide 15,000 scholarship to all our female candidates. What is the name? Prerna, Ummeed, Pratigya, or Asha? A 15,000 scholarship to all the female candidates who are there. 35 seconds to go. Prerna, Ummeed, Pratigya, Asha. What do you think? Okay, chat section has an answer. Should I say you right? I shouldn't say this yet. बहुत hints हो गए. Prerna, Ummeed, Pratigya, Asha. What do you think? This is not something you can Google probably. Okay, and chat section has answers. 10 seconds to go, guys. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the correct answer is Pratigya. So most of us are correct this time. So congratulations, everybody. And here I am going ahead with my list of winners. Okay. So let's see who wins today. And the winner is, okay, Prince Dilip Prasad becomes second and Pingu is third. Who is Pingu? Pingu was a very famous cartoon character. Any which ways, what all positions did you get, guys? आज कौन सी position है? Can I just get to know? I'll hand over the session to Ritik, but let me just know the position. Okay, congratulations, Dilip Prasad. Who is first though? Oh, congratulations, Prince. यार सही है ये तो 14th. Good number. No worries, side. Good number to go ahead with. And who is the third position holder? Who is Pingu? Penguin. Or do we, guys, इतना यार मिल रहा है, मतलब we are giving away any which ways, giving away a coupon. So why not just tell who the third position holder is? My position, please. Okay, you'll get the position after this quiz, right? So you'll receive the positions after this class ends. So you'll receive a message wherein you'll receive APL results as well. So I believe people won't like to tell their positions today. No worries, guys. Best of luck for the coding test and make sure you go ahead and complete at least 12 assignments before giving the coding test. I think, Ritik, are you around? Would you be able to take over? Okay, I believe he should be around. Shy person, some shy person at number 3. That is what I feel, Deepak. 1 second. I just asked Ritik to take over now.
Yeah, hello, everyone. I guess I can take over. Okay, thank you, Shika. Thank you so much for taking the quiz. I guess you all enjoyed the quiz. Okay, so we have 30 minutes left. So let's continue from where we left off. Let's try to solve a few more questions. Okay, let me quickly share my screen. Again. Just let me know once it's visible. It should be. Yes. No. Yes, it is. Okay. So what we were discussing is, so we were trying to understand that we can do something with the digits of the number, right? So number hai, we can find out the digits, we can find out the sum of digits, we can find out the product of digits, we can check the digits are even or not, we can check the digits are odd or not, we can count the digits of the number, and we can also find out the reverse of the numbers using the same concept of digits. Just a second. Okay, sorry. Yes. So we can find out the digits of the number, right? We can do things with like finding out reverse, counting of digits, counting of even digits, counting of odd digits, and so on. And we found out the reverse of the number. We also checked if the reverse is even or not, right? We did this. Now we also show, okay, the reverse is even or reverse is not even. Okay. Now, can we do something else with this reverse? Yes. So there is a concept known as palindrome. So what is a palindrome number? So palindrome number is a number that reads the same forward and backward. So what is a palindrome number? A palindrome number is a number, for example, which reads same both forward and backward. So basically the reverse of the number is equal to the number. Reverse of the number is equal to the number. Okay. So the reverse of the number is equal to the number itself. Okay. So this is known as a palindrome number. So for example, let's say we have a number like 1 to 1. So is it a palindrome number? Yes, it is a palindrome because we find out the reverse, it is the same as the number. Okay. So if we have like a number like let's say 1 2 2 1. So if you find out the reverse of this one, this is also a palindrome number, right? If you have a number like, let's say 145, 41. Okay, you find out the reverse of this number 14541. So this is also a palindrome number, right? So if you find out the reverse of the number, these are also a palindrome numbers. Okay. So basically the reverse of the numbers are also equals to the number itself. So that makes this number as a palindrome number. Okay. Now how can we check whether this number is equals, whether this number is a palindrome number or not? So we can write this, right? If reverse is equals to A, this is palindrome. But this will not work. Okay. Now tell me why is this not going to work? So first tell me, did you all understand about palindrome? Anyone any doubts on palindrome? No doubts on palindrome? Understood what is a palindrome number? Yes. Okay, basically the reverse of the number should be equal to the number. Now this is not going to work. Now tell me why is this not going to work? What is the problem with this? What do you think is the problem with this? Acha, what is the value of A after the loop? If I print the value of A, what is the value of A after the loop? A का value क्या है loop के बाद? What is the value of A after the loop? So if I print the value of A after the loop, you would be surprised to see that it is 0. Oh, it's 0. How is it 0? It shouldn't be 0. It is 0 because we have updated the value of A every time, right? We were removing digits from it. So we changed it to 234, then 23, then 2, then 0. So finally the value of A became 0. So A's value is actually 0. Now what? Now since A is 0, A is not a hash having that value. So we lost the value. So what can we do? So we can have another variable, let's call it as P, right? You can call it as anything like P, which can have the value of A. Now, even if we change this value of A and it becomes 0 here, we'll have T, which is still having the value that we wanted. So we still have the variable T, which is having the value that we wanted, right? So we have, which has the initial value 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, while comparing, we don't need to compare it with A, we should instead compare it with T, which is having the correct value of the number before doing the reverse. Right? Reverse se pehle kya value tha? This is the variable that is having that value. Okay, understood? Makes sense? Easy? Yes? No? Clear? Yes? Okay. Why did we take another variable T? See, because when we did this logic, when this thing will run, when this operation will be done, what is going to happen is actually it is going to find out when this operation is going to complete, what is going to happen is it is going to actually change the value of A to 0. Now, since A value has become 0, it will not be equal to the reverse, right? We cannot compare it is 0, right? Even if you compare it with 0 with the reverse, it is always going to be false. So how can we check this? So we need to check whether it is equals to the value that it was having before doing the reverse. So before finding out the reverse, whatever value A had, we had to compare it with that. We took a variable storing the value A and then we compared the reverse with that. Okay. So it is not a palindrome. Let's put a palindrome number in here and check whether it prints a palindrome or not. Let's put 1 to 1, which is a palindrome number. So if I run this now, it is printing that this is a palindrome number. Understood? Because we found out the reverse. Reverse was also equals to 1 to 1. When we check, is it equals to the reverse? Is the reverse equals to the original number? Yes, it is. So it is printing palindrome. Make sense? Now, can you solve the palindrome wala question from here? Sum of natural numbers we did, quadrants, I told you simple if else checks. So I'll take these questions in the doubt sessions, right? So doubt sessions, I'll solve them and show you. Okay. Let me check if there is anything else that's there that we should know. of equation last 2 digits. There is one concept of Fibonacci, that I'll cover. That is interesting. Okay, I'm giving you all the concepts that you require to solve the questions. Still, if you face difficulties, I am there, right? We have 2 more sessions together. We'll use that to learn. We'll use that to solve. I'll solve all the questions. But I want you all to try. Okay, एक बार try करो. If you get stuck, if you face problems, I'm there, right? Come back to me. Sir, I'm getting stuck. I'm not able to solve this. We will solve. Okay, but I want you to give everything that you need to solve. Till now, you do not know how to find out reverse. Till now, you do not know how to find out the sum of digits or do anything with digits. So I cannot expect you will be solving the palindrome question. Today I gave you all these concepts. Now I can expect you can try. Okay. If you are able to solve, that's very good, right? If you want some help, you can go through the notes. You can go through the recordings. You have a concept related video along with this, right? You have a concept related video. You can watch that as well, right? So that will give you idea. And at the end, again, we'll try. If it's solved, then if not, then I'll solve it in the doubt session. So last concept. Okay. And this is known as a Fibonacci series. Understood palindrome? Understood reverse of the numbers? Is this clear? Can we move to the next question? Can we move to learn something more? Is this clear? Any doubts over here? Anything? No doubts? Doubts? Sure. So if you don't have any doubts, then I can start with the last concept, which is known as Fibonacci series. Okay, so what is the Fibonacci series? So Fibonacci series is a series of numbers wherein basically every number is nothing but the sum of previous 2 numbers. So we have 2 numbers at the starting of the series, right, which is 0 and 1. And the next number is sum of these 2 numbers, which is 1. The next number is sum of these 2 numbers, which is 2. The next number is sum of these 2 numbers, which is 3. The next number is sum of these 2 numbers, which is 5. The next number is sum of these 2 numbers, which is 8, and so on. Sorry. So basically, every number is nothing but the sum of previous 2 numbers. The next number is 13, right, which is nothing but the sum of 8 and 5. Okay, the next number is 13 plus 8, 21, which is nothing but the sum of previous 2 numbers. So similarly, every next number is nothing but the sum of previous 2 numbers. Okay. Now, what is asked in our question? So what is asked? So let's say we are asked to print a Fibonacci series up to 10 digits. हमको 10 digits का Fibonacci series print करना है. ठीक है? How can we do that? So see. Let's say we start with the number 0. A is 0 and we start with the second number is 1. We don't know the third number, we'll find out the third number. If we don't know the third number, we'll find out the third number. Okay. How many digits we have to print? So let's say the question is asking print the first 10 numbers of Fibonacci series. Okay. So how many times our loop should run? We have to print 10 numbers. So our loop will be running for 10 times. 10 times loop run करेगा. ठीक है? 1 to 10 and we'll increase it by 1. Okay. So since we want to run the loop for 10 times, we'll since we want to run the loop for 10 print 10 Fibonacci numbers, we'll run the loop for 10 times. Okay. Next what? So we ran the loop for 10 times. Now how will we find out the Now, how can we find out the series? So see, we can find out the next number. What is the next number? So we have 2 numbers A and B. The next number is nothing but the sum of these 2 numbers, which is A plus B. Okay. So the next number is nothing but the sum of these 2 numbers, which is A plus B. Okay. We found out the sum of A plus B. Now what's next? So since we found out the sum of A plus B, we can do this. We can change the number A is equals to B, B is equals to C. I know this is super confusing. So let me explain this once again. Okay. And before doing this, right, what's the number that we want to print? So let's first print the number. So the current number that we want to start with the series is A. Okay. So let me break this down into steps. Okay. I know I wrote a lot of things in one go. See, what I'm doing is I took 2 numbers. Okay. A, which was 0, B, which was 1. Okay. So I took A as 0 and we took B as 1, two numbers. Now we want to find out we want to print the, how can we print the series? Let me run this logic. Now look at here, what is happening. So firstly, we are printing A. So we run the loop for 10 times. So I is equals to 1. I equals to 1. We run the loop for the first time. We print 0, which is the first number. Okay. Then we say, okay, we printed the first number. Let's find out the next number. What's the next number? So how can we find out the next number? So next number is nothing but the sum of previous two numbers. So how can we find out the next number? Let me write it a little bit more clearly. So let's say A is 0, B is 1. The next number is nothing but A plus B, which is 1. Okay, we added these two numbers, A plus B, which is 1. Okay. Now we got C. Now what we are doing is we are doing these two statements. What is this doing? We are changing the first number to the second number and the second number to the third number. So A is equals to B, so A becomes 1. B is equals to C, so B also becomes 1. We changed A to the second number and B to the third number, which is 1. So this is how series looks like 0, 1, 1, right? 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5. So now we changed A to 1. A is pointing to this one, B is pointing to this one. A is no longer the first number, B is no longer the second number. A is the second number, B is the third number. Next iteration, look what we are doing. We are printing A again. So this time we are printing A again. So we'll print 1 when I is equal to 2. And we'll find out the next number. So what is the next Fibonacci number? 2. We have 1, 1. So we find out the next Fibonacci number 2. A will change to the next Fibonacci number, which is 1. B will change to the next Fibonacci number, which is 2. So now this is A, this is B, okay, which we have moved, right? So A was here, B was here. Then A changed to here, B changed to here. Then A changed to here, B changed to here. Right? So we are changing A and B. We are moving it one step ahead. Okay. A is here, B is here. Now look at what we are doing next. Next iteration, when I becomes 3, right? What we are trying to do is we are trying to print the A. So A is now again 1. We print 1. Now we find out the next number, which is 3. And we change A. A becomes 2, B becomes 3. A changes to B, B changes to 3. Okay. And then we again go again. I equals to 4. We print the next A value, which is 2. And we change A to 3, B to we find out the next number, which is 2 plus 3, which is 5. We change A to 3, B to 5. Okay, find out this, A change A to. Then next I equals to 5. We print A's value 3. We find out the next Fibonacci number, 5 plus 3, 8. We change this to 5. This changes to 8. Now looking what, now are you getting what is happening? So every time we are moving, A changes to 2, B changes to 3. A changes to 3, B changes to 5. A changes to 5, B changes to 8. A changes to 8, B changes to 13. A changes to 13, B changes to 21. Every iteration we are printing the A. So basically we are printing the first number. So we are getting the first number. So 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, and so on. What some idea? What is the Fibonacci series? How can we print the Fibonacci series? Yes. Let me run it again. Yes. Do you get the idea? How can we print the Fibonacci series? Anyone doubts? I know this is like for the first time, this is a little bit of tricky code. I understand that. I completely understand that. But if you run it, if you try to write it yourself, go through it again and again, you'll be able to understand this. Understood? No? Yes? Clear? Okay. If you understood this, then this is it. This is it. Like a lot about programming that I wanted to tell you, right? Okay. So this is it about loops. Now, similarly, you can solve questions into C. So I'll give you one simple trick to understand loops or solve question using loops. See, so loops are very simple, right? Just that you have to figure out what is the code that you have to run again and again, right? Just try to look what is the code run you have to run again and again. So for example, here, how can we observe? So we have two numbers. You have to find out the third number. So finding out the third number is one code which we have to run again and again. Now, once we do it for these two numbers, we have to do it for these two numbers. So our numbers should change. Now, once we do it for these two numbers, we have to do it for these two numbers. So our numbers would change and our numbers would change. So what is the logic that you have to write? Finding out the new number and changing the numbers. That's it. So if you understand this part, right, itna figure out kar liya, then it would be little bit easier to translate it into code. First, you try to think ki karna kya hai, and then try to write it in code. At a lot of places like digits, right? So this one is something which is a very standard way to find out digits, and then you can use it for a lot of ways, finding out reverse of digits, count of digits, even digits, odd digits, sum of digits, product of digits, sum of even digits, sum of odd digits, right? Okay, so now you can basically use it for a lot of things, right? You can use it, you can find out the even odd, lot of ways to do that. Okay, print the first 10 numbers of Fibonacci and we can do it. Now, last one variation on this one. Take one last variation before I call it for the day. So let's say we have the same thing, okay, and you are asked to print the 10th number of Fibonacci series. How can you print the 10th number? So let's say we'll run the same loop. Loop to same hoga, logic to same hoga. Just that I have to change something in printing, right? How will I print? So let's say I have a variable of storing the 10th number, P. Okay. Which is let's say storing 8 or something. Now, so I don't need to print all the series, I just want to print the 10th number. So what can I do such that P at the end prints the 10th number? What should P store? What is the statement that I should add inside loop or do whatever you want, right? What do you think we should be doing to store that 10th number in P, and at the end when the loop ends, we'll be printing that 10th number. What's the thing that we need to do? Think and tell. No, it's very लग रहा. P plus C. While we add C to P, C to add नहीं करना चाहिए. देखो, we are already calculating. ये logic तो calculate कर रहा है, right? So we just have to store that number in P. C. अगर मैं print करूँ, so what I was doing over here, so I was printing that number. Instead of printing, if I just store it in P, okay? So first iteration I'll store 0, then I'll update it to 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5, something, and at the end I'll store 34, which is the 10th Fibonacci number. And after this loop, when I print it, it will be actually printing the 10th Fibonacci number. See, now it is just printing 34. So I do not want to print all the Fibonacci number up to 10th. I just wanted to print the 10th Fibonacci number. Understood? How can we print just the number we want? Clear? Makes sense? Little bit. Once again, yes. See. So what we were doing over here, we were printing each number that we are finding out, right? A, every number we are finding out. So every number that we are finding out, we were printing it. Okay, makes sense. जो भी number मिल रहा था, हम उसे print कर रहे थे, right? But this time we don't have to print every number. We don't want to print every number that we are finding out, right? We want to store it. That we want to store, and we don't want to even to store. We just want the 10th number. हमें बस 10th number चाहिए. So what we are doing is we are storing every number 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2. 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, right? Every number that we are getting, we are storing. So 34 is the 10th Fibonacci number that we should have printed, but we stored it in P. So P, this value is changing from 0, 1, 1, 2, so on. And at the end, it is 34. At the end, उसमें 34 रह जाएगा. And outside the loop, I am printing. So what is going to happen? I am going to print only one number, which is 34, which is the 10th Fibonacci number. Understood? Clear? Yes? No? थोड़ा सा समझ आया? Okay, Fibonacci one is very confusing. That's why I kept it for the last. Okay, please go through this once again. Okay, try to understand, try to run this yourself. What is happening at each iteration? What is happening at each step of the code? Run it. See, the only way to understand this code is to run it, right? So this is the only one like where you feel initially uncomfortable, then you get used to this logic. Okay. Okay. Digits are super simple, right? Once you get to understand how you find out digits and what you are doing, you then can do any operation on digits. Okay. That's it. We did an operation on numbers using loops, right? So that's what the questions are, right? Just go through them once. Okay. एक बार go through करो. Okay. Try to solve the questions that's there in the assignments. Okay. Now try to solve. There are if conditional questions. So this one, second largest integer, you can leave this one. This is an array question. So you can skip this one. Others you will be able to solve. Okay. And similarly, there are questions on loops from in this warm-up zone. So now you'll be able to better solve the questions on loops, right? But there is GCD LCM, there is a number question, right? There is a Pythagorean triplet question. So there are questions on loops, right? Fahrenheit to Celsius degree conversion, ठीक है, number reversible. So now you should be able to solve more questions. जो भी doubts है, right? We have 2 doubt sessions which I'll be using just for solving questions. I don't have anything remaining. I'll check if there is nested loops का too much questions. I'll cover nested loops. ठीक है, so tomorrow I'll start with nested loop. One small concept that is remaining. ठीक है, we'll complete that and then we'll solve questions on this. ठीक है. Okay, makes sense. Okay. Achha, any more doubts? We have 5 minutes remaining. Chalo. Any doubts that you have? Anything regarding the job guarantee thing discussion that we did? Anything on loops? Anything on numbers? Anything that's remaining? Any doubts that you have? Clear? Achha, tell me, did you all? Second largest integer, you can leave that question for now, right? I told you, right? That is something from arrays. We'll do that in the module. Okay, we'll do it in the main course, right? When we'll study, we'll also learn about arrays. So there I'll cover that question. Okay. For now, you can skip that one. Okay. Anything apart from that? Is everything else clear? Did you understand? Did you learn something today? Is loops now becoming comfortable? See, when we started programming, we did not know programming. We started data types, we started variables. Then now you are very much comfortable. Whenever I create variable, you are so used to it. When you started conditionals, it looked like something new. But when we wrote so many conditionals, we did it for 4 or 5 days. Now you're very much comfortable with condition. Every time I write a if block, you're so comfortable. You don't even feel like, hey, why am I writing it? What does it do? Then the next time when we studied loop, the first day was yesterday, you were a little bit uncomfortable, right? You started. Today you got little bit comfortable. Thoda to easy lag raha tha. That as you keep on doing, it will become easy. The concept will keep on becoming easier. Now, data as variable is super easy concept for all of you. Conditionals are easier, right? Loop will also become easy. Once we solve more questions, once we understand this small thing, I'll touch every question that will require some effort, right? Every question that you feel ki thoda sa effort lagega, right? I also feel that you will need to explain this. I'll explain that. We'll put some effort. Intermediate or beginner, which one is best? Just see if you have some idea of programming, you are understanding what we are learning, right? You are able to grasp, right? Then you can pick up an intermediate one. If you have some idea, you want to go a little bit quicker. If you feel that I can spend a more time, right? I don't know anything about programming, then you can pick the beginner one, where you will spend a little bit more time learning the fundamentals. Will go a little bit slower as compared to the intermediate ones, right? So there will be lesser things in a module in a month to cover. So that's the only difference, right? Things will be covered same things is going to get covered in beginner or intermediate. As that in beginner, things will be little bit more stretched. In the intermediate, it will be little bit more squeezed, right? That's it. Okay. Anything else? Any more doubts? Yes, I'm seeing one hand raised. Let me check if I can give permission to speak. Yes. I've given you permission to speak. Yeah, any doubts? Anything? No? Okay. Clear? So now try to solve the questions. Do the warm up section that you have, right? Solve from that. Please do the assignments, right? You have a little bit more context so that you have doubts, right? If you have doubts tomorrow, that's fine. You have doubts from day after tomorrow, that's fine. I want you to come with doubts, right? I want you all to come with doubts tomorrow. So that tomorrow when I start the class, you say doubts. Yes. Take it. Deepak, today, Harshad number, we have not solved that. We did not do a lot of numbers yesterday, right? Today we did a lot of numbers. So now today try to go and solve that questions again. The question that you tried yesterday and have lesser context on loops, lesser context on numbers. Today you have more. Try them again. Try new questions. Whatever doubt remains, put them in a list. Tomorrow we'll start with just your doubts. Whatever your doubts are, I'll just keep on solving those questions. Okay. We'll submit in the portal. I'll give you solutions to all the questions. Let me share the notes in the chats. So you can right away start by looking this one. You'll get them along with the recording as well, but I'm sharing it in the chat so you don't have to wait for the recording to get uploaded and be accessible. Yes, so I've shared it in the chat. You can use this link. Okay. Thank you, everyone. It was great talking to you all again. Hope you all come back tomorrow with a lot more doubts. I want to see you all back with a lot more doubts. We'll solve a lot of questions tomorrow, day after tomorrow. Use the notes, solve the assignments. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Good night. Take care. See you all tomorrow. Okay. Bye-bye.